Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture. It's about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey,
hi everyone.
I gotta say, on my stream, in case people are watching my stream, I was seeing black for a long time. Yeah, it didn't start the intro till like halfway through. That's weird.
Huh.
I'm not sure if it's the same for you.
Mine seems okay.
It's fine now. It didn't, but that's bizarre. That's a StreamYard issue that happened.
Yeah. By the way, folks, I know that you noticed that there's a missing person. We have some unfortunate news again.
It's gone.
We've come together and we've decided that Olay. No, we're gonna every time one of us is late or we miss a show, we're gonna do the meme. But no, Olay will be back in a couple of weeks. So she's not gonna be on tonight. But
she really put us in a situation here. I mean, worst possible day for the one black woman on this show to not be here when the SCOTUS thing came down. I mean,
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm disappointed that the 30th episode didn't coincide with her 30th birthday. Like I thought that would have been magical and cool, but we just waited to launch the show like a month, you know.
Also, we do have a special guest who is I see him right there below. Should I bring him in?
FD Signifier. Let's bring him in. Let's do this.
we should mention that.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Let's do it. Just bring him in. Just bring him up already.
First.
Don't explain a thing. Today. Bring him in. Bring him in. Just bring him in.
Here he is.
Oh, wait a minute.
Signifier.
Looks a little bit different than from the YouTube videos.
A little more pale than usual.
Who's FD Signifier again? I think I might need an explanation on that one. Who is that?
Oh, Lance, you're muted.
Yes, you are, Lance.
Oh,
yes.
boy.
Yes. FD Signifier.
I think you don't have your correct mic. It sounds like a room mic as opposed to your actual mic in front of you.
Is my mic working?
This is like
yes, we can hear you.
Streamlabs or StreamYard does this to me too sometimes. But
Leftist audio as usual. FD Signifier is a really awesome video essayist. He was going to be on tonight, but he's gonna be on in a future episode when Olay is here. We each have our individual connects, and Olay is our connect to FD. So we each have our individual. So yeah, he'll be on soon. But yeah, he's if you guys don't know who FD Signifier is, check out his YouTube. It's very, very good. But we have Mr. RM Brown here as well. Our first return guest, I believe, right?
Ultimate swerve, actually. RM Brown has been FD Signifier this whole time. FD Signifier is actually a VTube character that was created.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. It's usually an anime girl, like a Sailor Moon type character for me, you know. But yeah, this is what I really look like. So sorry. But thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's always fun to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
For sure. There's so much shit that happened this week. I don't even know where to begin. But yeah, jam-packed episode. What do you all want to start with?
Well, just to go over some things that we may talk about today. There is, of course, the Supreme Court decision today. There is, I got a couple of clips that I find interesting from Dylan Mulvaney, who's finally come and broke her silence for the first time since all the Bud Light shit went down.
Let's start with this heavy stuff first, and then we could have a little bit of lighter fun, I guess. With some of these other
that sounds good to me.
Let's talk about this SCOTUS decision, because it's I guess I could have saw it coming. It's a very it wasn't a divisive decision whatsoever from the Supreme Court. It was right down the political ideological line. 6-3 decision, affirmative action in Harvard, and what was the other school? I don't remember. It was a public institution, though, wasn't it?
North something. It was one of the Norths.
North Carolina.
Right. See, this is why Olay, the lawyer, should have been here too. I mean, we really
I covered it today, and I forget.
We need our defense attorney.
Right. No, it's really multiple levels here. But I mean, it's what can you say other than the fact that the right wing is celebrating this? They truly, really do believe that all their children who didn't get accepted into Ivy League schools and other elite colleges, the only reason that could be is because affirmative action gave their kid spot to a Black or Latino person who they feel does not deserve to be in that spot. But I tweeted this out first thing because it's not going to change a thing when it comes to the right's perception of who gets accepted to schools. Even with affirmative action officially over in college with college admissions, you will still hear from right-wingers who will claim, oh, they're secretly still doing it. They're secretly still doing affirmative action whenever there is some sort of story or just a Black or Latino kid happily announces online that they got accepted to an elite school and the racists' kids were not accepted. They'll automatically still assume something. I mean, it already happens. There was that woman, that girl who
Abigail
claimed
Fisher.
Yeah, it literally already happens, even when affirmative action is not even possible in a scenario where they complain that they or their kid did not get into a college. I mean, the one thing I hope that maybe this does is I really do hope that, and it's not going to happen, but my best case scenario, Mr. Brightside over here, I really do hope this would be like a chip in the idea that these elite colleges and Ivy League schools actually matter. They actually determine who is really smart or who deserves a high-paying gig, because some of these fucking tech VCs who seem to have an opinion on everything and run everything, they're all from elite colleges and schools and universities. All these fucking idiots that we have to deal with now are from all these schools, and clearly they aren't any brighter than people who don't go to college or go to community college or just go to a regular 4-year institution that's not an elite or a prestigious school.
Yeah, there still is affirmative action, but it's for privileged white people. And AOC had a really good point about this. The 70% of legacy admissions are white people. That was not abolished. So this isn't about fairness, and it's honestly, it's an embarrassment, right? Because this is like going back to the Abigail Fisher case that Matt brought up. This is what white people and racists, quite frankly, have been using as an excuse for their own mediocrity, right? Abigail Fisher is somebody who did not get into the University of Texas in Austin after her daddy went, after her big sis went. And so rather than realizing that she didn't perform in the top 10% of her own class to get in herself and was insufficient, she claimed it was due to racism. She was a white woman, and the whiteness is what sunk her ultimately, because we know that being white in this country is very, very bad. And this is the way that it's always been, right? I think that David Dole shared a great article from Elie Mystal where he talks about how he was there in college, and then this white person whose name was on a fucking building was telling him how he basically got there, didn't deserve to be there. It's so ridiculous. Like, there's this assumption that affirmative action is to favor mediocrity, somebody who doesn't work better, when that's not it. Like, people have this perception of affirmative action, which is insane to me, that it's like, okay, well, this white kid with a 4.0 GPA he's going to get denied. So this black kid with a 2.5 GPA gets in. That is not how it works. That's never been how it works. The way that it works is race can be one of many factors after the initial factors are first discussed. And it could be seen as a benefit, not the main thing. So there's extracurricular activity, SAT scores, your GPA. And then also for the first time, they can use race as a positive as opposed to a negative, which is how it's been historically, where it's like, okay, well, this person is from an indigenous community. They've been historically left out. We could bring them in. But because that threatens the, racial hegemony of white people in this country, they just couldn't accept it. And the irony of this whole fucking story is that, do you want to know who benefits the most from affirmative action? White people. White women. Yeah, white women. Yeah. And it's not necessarily bad because gender inequality is an issue. Women have been historically left out of education and employment. So ironically, like, black people are getting blamed by conservatives, right, for affirmative action and whatnot, when in actuality, they didn't benefit as much. Like, affirmative action, it's a meager attempt to right this historical wrong. It didn't really do a lot to add inclusion. So we need to go further, but we're going backwards. Like, we can't even have fucking baby steps in this country. It's really honestly frustrating.
I got the study in front of me right now, and this is from, it's been published now by NBC. It says, study from Harvard finds 43% of white students are either legacy athletes related to the donors or the staff, and that number drops dramatically for Black, Latino, and Asian American students, with less than 16% each coming from those categories, the study said. So there is already affirmative action, but it's affirmative action in kind of like nepotism, and hey, you were here, your dad was here, he was a bad person, but you hopefully won't be, you'll be good.
And we should be clear that this deals specifically with race-based admissions, as opposed to this actually doesn't so that the idea, I saw some people replying to Olay brought up how white women benefit from affirmative action. This doesn't touch that. This is specifically about race, so it is a specifically racist decision here. And I also saw there's some idea out there because Roberts in the decision said that actually there's still a lane for schools to allow this sort of affirmative action, just not in the way it's been done. But Ali Mistal, who was on MSNBC, who, by the way, when it comes to any SCOTUS decision, I usually go to Ali Mistal because he is an expert in this field specifically. So I want to bring up his response to that argument that this somehow still allows these sorts of admissions.
Affected his or her life, so long as they are treated based on her experiences as an individual, not on the basis of race. What's your reaction to that caveat from John Roberts?
That John Roberts is one of the most successful political animals in our system, and he put that line in there explicitly to confuse the press as to what he's doing. The incongruity of that statement should be obvious. He's saying that colleges can care about diversity, but he's taking away the way that colleges care about diversity, right? He's taking away the actual policies and programs that allow colleges to do what Roberts says they can totally do if they want to, right? So again, it's a feint. It's a way to kind of shape the narrative in the press. On the ground, as you already mentioned, we have examples, we have evidence for how this is going to play out in California, in Michigan, in other states that have banned affirmative action, and we see that diversity goes into the tank, and that's what Roberts wants. That's what these 6 conservative want. They don't care about the diversity. They don't care about the 14th Amendment's racially ameliorative programs, right? Like, people need to understand, affirmative action, the first time that happened in American history was during Reconstruction. And the people who promulgated affirmative action during Reconstruction passed the 14th Amendment so that they could have these policies like affirmative action in the 1866 Civil Rights Act. And the 14th Amendment was explicitly designed to allow these policies, and now the conservatives are taking the 14th Amendment away and kind of redeploying it, not to foster racial equality, but to make mediocre white kids feel a little bit better when they apply to Harvard. That's the upside of it.
Bingo. I mean, even with affirmative action, people of color, Black Americans, Indigenous people, they still have to work twice as hard to get half as far. But this small little Band-Aid solution, which didn't even do as much as people thought it did. You can't even have that in this country. That's how racist this country is. It's really sickening. And then at the same time, you have people like Tim Pool flipping it and saying, well, if you support affirmative action, you're racist because this is racism against white people. It's just we can never have a serious conversation in this country if this is the way that things always turn out. It's honestly really frustrating. And I think that the NAACP president put it best, that the worst thing to ever come out of affirmative action was like Clarence Thomas, right? Because that is an individual who George Bush chose because he was black, right? He wanted to replace the Supreme Court or put someone on the court who was black. But Clarence Thomas is a conservative, so there's not as much like hysteria over there. But when Joe Biden tried to do it and said, I want to appoint a black woman to the Supreme Court because we've never had one, people automatically started screeching about that and claimed, oh, well, it shouldn't be based on race. It should be based on merit. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is the most qualified, the most experienced person on the Supreme Court. But still, there's this perception that, oh, nope, if merit wasn't considered at all. I think that Ellie put it best when he said, yeah, this is about mediocre white kids just having, the ability to get what they want. That's literally what this is just about.
Which also goes to Binder's point, by the way, where even if, there was no affirmative action for the Supreme Court, but people are claiming that's what's happening because Biden chose Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Right. Yeah, it's just it's ridiculous.
And the incredible thing is that these right wingers or even just racist white people or really literally anyone of any race who thinks that someone of a different race than theirs took their spot. Because I know that the right loves to, they're so proud of having seemingly, sort of been able to bring a number of, Asians into their conservative ideology, at least on this one sort of topic here. The number one thing, actually, that takes the place of someone trying to get into one of these schools isn't someone of equal background who's just a different race. The number one thing is legacy admissions. And they never address that. They never care to discuss the people who already went to these elite institutions, who had means, or people who didn't even go to these schools but give money so that they can be like an honorary member of the school. And then their kids get automatically accepted because of money or the prestige of their family name, or like you brought up
wealth
before,
in general makes it easier to get to college. You can have tutors, you can have a better housing situation if your parents don't have to work double jobs, or they don't have to do app economy stuff, or they can be home and they can love you and they can provide for you. All of these things factor in, and not to mention
I
a
think
lot of people.
Everything we just mentioned is certainly accurate, but it's a different level for the legacy admissions. Like, I agree with you. I'm saying that they have an advantage that's unfair, especially considering how it falls along racial lines.
Yeah. Also, I know, the obviously, like you were saying, the 1% way overrepresented in Ivy League schools and all that stuff. But even if I was looking at high schools, there are these elite high schools that I think that, to me, this is the big thing, is these elite high schools that kind of feed into these Ivy League schools and all that stuff. They invest 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times more than the average public school student. So to me, that's part of the problem, is you're just reproducing that inequality. That's it. You're just reproducing it because you're investing more in the student who doesn't even really know what's happening. You know what I mean? So to me, the affirmative action is such a mild correction. I mean, I think we need way more than something as mild as affirmative action, which is basically just you're still competing under the same quote unquote, under the same cutthroat conditions, but we're gonna try to do some mild correction. It's, of course, you shouldn't get rid of it, but it's definitely not enough to me. I mean,
I agree. That's what makes it so frustrating to me, because it's it's such a small thing.
Absolutely.
It barely makes a difference. And you can't even have that, right? It's really frustrating. So, when you zoom out, it's how do you actually fix bigger things, right? If a small little policy like affirmative action is so controversial, then how do you actually address the lack of wealth in the Black community? Like, can we ever actually get reparations under this, under this environment? Can we ever actually eradicate systemic racism? Like, it just feels really hopeless. And I feel really upset about that because it's so frustrating.
I think that's the whole game. The whole game is to keep the conversation there, to keep it in. It's to throw treats to the right, also racist treats, but it's also to keep the conversation there, to keep to keep it in the frame of meritocracy. Like, oh, this is interrupting quote unquote meritocracy.
Right.
So we're fixing that, right? Instead of what we already know works. I mean, we have models for the best education systems in the world. I always talk about Finland. You make it public and you make it great, and then you can have something
spicy take that people shouldn't pay out of pocket for secondary education. In fact, a lot of Scandinavia pays you. They'll give you money for stipends to be able to live and pay rent and eat and stuff like that. But I think we all want more doctors and nurses and super brain cranium masters. So
not only that, we want more artists studying under the great artists too. We want our
the cranium masters.
Of the more cranium masters, yeah.
It feeds into everything else.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, Land's healthcare. Like there's this conservative idea against universal healthcare. Well, we don't have enough doctors. Well, if you had public education and you you enabled more people to be able to afford to be a doctor by it being free, then you would have more doctors. It'd be less of a problem. But there's so many levels to the system.
You're trying to solve a problem that they don't want to solve.
Exactly.
They're not. They're not actually worried about the medical. If everyone has universal health care, we're not getting enough doctors. No, they just say that because they don't want to give universal health care.
Obviously, yes. Right? That was in my mind because Tim Pool brought that up during the debate with Emma, which I'll bring a clip of that later because that was a fantastic job by Emma on that show.
I can't wait. Yeah.
But
she did better than me and Lance. I mean, she killed.
I think she did better than everyone. Emma.
Yeah, no, she did fantastic. Yeah.
And it completely broke the beanie. He just whoopsie.
yeah. There's now that's a
Sam
fantastic
put you up to
sound
this.
drop.
This was Sam Cedar. It's got Sam Cedar all over it. I know Sam. And you're like, what the?
I love the idea because I've been watching the aftermath pretty closely, and I love the idea because it does seem like if we were to really boil down what he's been saying in the past couple days after, is she didn't stay for sushi, she's a pedophile. That seems if I were really to boil it down, that would be it.
I actually feel like it's the other way around. Like she's not calling her a pedophile because she didn't sit down for sushi. He thinks she's a pedophile because of what happened on the show. Yet still, for some reason, wanted her to hang out and poker and sushi.
That's a good point. Why would you want to eat sushi with a pervert?
If this person's a pervert, you ask him to stay for sushi,
now Tim Pool's very suspect right now.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know what's going on here, we should I guess kind of explain. So Emma Vigeland of the Majority Report was on Tim Pool's show. Did a fantastic job.
I arranged this, by the way. I set this up.
Did you really?
Well done.
And afterwards, because Tim Pool was grasping at straws, he had nothing to actually catch Emma on. There was a point in the debate where Tim Pool brings up this book that's about sex education, and because one page talks about a blowjob, he's freaking out about it. Was it that book, Genderqueer?
This is the book, and it's a story, a coming of age story about being asexual. That scene that they all point towards, that's someone discovering their own asexuality with a plastic phallus. I'll have you know, it's a strap on. It's not even the blowjob scene. They're all like, yeah.
So because Emma's whatever, it's a book about sex ed. Who cares? He turned that into Emma's a pedophile. It's just because he had nothing to go on. So. I mean, there's so many points from the debate, but this one, to me, I think this is getting less attention, but it deserves more attention because it is so clear that Tim Pool is completely full of shit. This is their debate about war, where Tim Pool is arguing that he's actually to the left of Emma on war because
until we get to Palestine.
And then it turns, and then you're going to see what happens here. It's pretty good.
territory without recourse, then I mean that's pro-imperialism. That's not, and that's still pro-war.
No,
Yes, it
a lot of
is.
people around the world do a lot of bad things. I don't think the U.S. should be an empire going and funding wars all over the world.
We're not funding wars. We're funding the defense. I mean,
Like-
and there's something that you can be said where should we draw a certain line? I have already conceded that strings should be attached and we should be involved in peace negotiations. But to flatten the power dynamics here, I mean, I would imagine this is like the same argument that you hear when it comes to Israel and Palestine, right? Where Palestinians are defending themselves, and then it's, oh my gosh, they are just it's completely symmetrical. Israel and Palestine. These are two actors just battling it out.
So you're in favor of intervention there?
I would love to fund Palestinians so that they were able to have a better
You are
life
to the
for
right of
themselves.
me on foreign policy.
Well, we already fund Israel, dude.
Yeah.
Are you against that?
That's a tougher question. I don't have an answer.
It's
so
so
good.
blatant. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
to be
God.
fair, Israel-Palestine, that's not a big issue that you should know much about if you're a political commentator with making millions of dollars doing this, you know.
And the funny thing, like, he claims to have a principled position. He's anti-war. He's anti-funding any war. So he wouldn't, even if that was the case, even if it was like, I don't know, a small situation he didn't know about, he should still have the principled position. Well, I don't think I'm against funding Israel, but he can't bring himself to say that,
right?
Because he understands what his audience is. Like, it's so
I'm so
clear.
happy I get to talk about this with all of you because I'm so curious. Have you picked up on why does he care so much? Did you see the leaked text between Tim Pool and Sam Cedar where like it sounds like he wants their friendship so badly? You know, it's like,
Yes.
oh, well, why don't you talk about how like I actually talk about Flint water and how I'm on the left of that? Well, why don't you talk about my positions and how I'm a leftist? Why don't you talk about my skate park? Why did you change the volume
Because
of my
you
song? Why did
advocate
you
for
do-
Trump. You advocate for Republicans. This
Oh, but
idea
I
that he's progressive because he's for universal health care. Bro, you barely talk about that issue. And even if you did, who do you support? Who do you advocate for? People that have taken away health care. You can't claim to be for universal health care. It's such bullshit.
Well, he's mentioned this a few times. I honestly think this is why he has like a soft spot for Sam. And no matter how much he tries to pretend that like it doesn't bother him, he obviously doesn't want him on the show because there's this he always brings up this unwritten, unpublished blacklist that no one except Tim Pool ever brings up. But you and I will concede that it's not impossible to believe that people like Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and Dave Rubin actually talk with each other and agree to not have Sam Cedar on their shows because what he says about them. But Tim has told me before that, like, you know,
mic's broken,
Sam,
Robot.
oh, it's broken.
Yeah, it's doing the thing again. It's
getting
back.
a little clicky.
It's rearing its ugly head. It was good for weeks.
All right, let's try.
Oh,
fix.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fixed.
Fixed.
Okay, good. All right, so you know, Tim has told me when I was there, even that like, yeah, you and the Majority Report and Sam, like when I was there. So it was back in 2011 during Occupy. He was like, you guys gave me my first media hit. You were the first people to contact me and have me on a show when I was down there live streaming Occupy. I mean, I remember sending the email to Tim. So I do think I mean, he'll always just randomly, at least like, you know, once every few weeks, just randomly slide into my replies and start commenting. And it's not really always relevant either to what I'm saying. It's very bizarre.
He's he's super upset. And it is kind of weird watching the past couple days where it's a fascinating character study because like he is really upset and really obsessed with like Emma not looking at the skate park and getting the skate. Like you can feel this is real upset. And it's like, dude, you're a multi-millionaire. And
You have an underground skate park.
Yeah, you have an underground skate park. You live on a compound where you march around barking at people what to do. It's like this is the dream of every, you know, like conservative and stuff. Like on paper, you have everything. Yeah, you have chicken. You're running around chasing, doing whatever with these chickens. On paper, he has everything everybody in America wants, but he's like
everything that Tim Pool could want.
Yeah, exactly. His fists are clenched about this. I mean, you know, he's like the Citizen Kane of our time. He wants what he can't have, which is the approval of Sam Cedar and Emma and Matt Binder and he can never have it.
He
He's
was
almost
especially
like Donald Trump in that way, where it's like Donald Trump is like this guy who has everything, but he wants that love of Hollywood. He wants that love of other celebrities.
Yes.
Like,
Never happy.
He'll never be happy.
Yes.
Yeah. He was mad that Emma didn't stay because you know how like when you're 8 years old and you're on the trampoline and you're like, Mom, watch, I'm gonna do a flip. Mom, are you looking? He wanted to do that with Emma, but be like, Emma, I'm gonna ollie. Look, Emma, are you watching? Emma, like that's what he wanted to do.
I would not be surprised if he had printed out a whole plan to impress Emma with skate tricks.
Emma, I've got a tech deck too. Look, Emma, did you see that? Pop, shove it. Emma, look.
There's an amazing clip too. I should have sent it to you guys, but it's him on maybe like 2 days ago show, his live show or whatever, where he's talking to, I can't remember the guy's name. He has this guy who used to be like a hardcore singer who's on his like live panel or whatever. And
from All That Remains, right?
From All That Remains, yeah, whatever that guy's name is. Yeah. And they're talking about, they're like, they literally say this. I'll send you guys the clip, but they're like, Emma and Sam are really mad because they're jealous. And they're jealous because they don't get invited to, Congress. Because Tim Pool did a live stream from like Lauren Boebert's thing and like Matt Gaetz thing, like he's live streamed with them from Washington DC before. And I was like, Emma made that exact point, that you're accepted by the power structure and that the Majority Report is not. And to me, that's like really good proof of that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're in. Like none of your views really challenge power that much, so you're gonna get invited. You know what I mean?
I was astonished that he got so mad at the Nazi part, and like good on her for saying that. But like this seems a very kind of like this. He thought it was a gotcha. He thought the whole thing was like a secret plot by Sam Cedar to expose him and get all this stuff. But it's like it's just a very regular question. Why is it that a neo-Nazi mass shooter watched your show, specifically when you had another neo-Nazi as a guest on your show? Why doesn't that bug you? Any normal person would be like, well, I mean, I don't like Nazis. Don't want to be associated with the Nazis, so maybe I don't want to keep doing that. Unless you want to defend the Nazis.
He tried to avoid bringing it up when it first was unveiled. Like I think he was upset that it seemed like he was upset that she brought it up on his show. Now I don't watch every Tim Pool episode, so he can correct me if I'm wrong, or any Tim Pool fans can correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think he ever brought it up on his show because he didn't want to touch on the subject. I mean, you would think that if someone posted this stuff, then you would want to say, I don't support this. It's horrible.
Well, he said it was a psyop.
Yeah, instead of like doing that, just be like, this guy does not reflect my views. It's horrible that he watched and took something away from this show, but I don't know what, he didn't even try to like, other than like you said, come up with some sort of conspiracy theory that totally
he got mad at her. He thought Sam Cedar put her up to the whole thing, which is just like so wild. It's like, is this not going to be a sober, reflective moment where it's like, yeah, so that neo-Nazi mass shooter, the one with the swastika, he was watching the episode where you had a neo-Nazi on your show, Nick Fuentes. That's the episode, right? But instead it was just like, Sam put you up to this. I know Sam did this. This was Sam. Sam's fingerprints are all over this, Emma. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
It's so
weird. He could have easily said it was a mistake to have that guy on. I shouldn't have had him on. Like if he actually, if this was how he, obviously he doesn't feel this way, but if that's how he actually felt and it was a bad thing to do, he would apologize and be like, it was a terrible idea. I shouldn't have had him on. I didn't challenge him properly. But no, he gets super defensive, starts yelling, and Emma perfectly just like sits there like looking at him like and he's getting angry and angry because he can't get a reaction out of her. She did a great job.
Yeah, the fact that she held her composure and he got so red and so triggered, it was beautiful to see. Yeah, that was amazing. And you do it really well, Lance.
I mean, it seems like the most obvious thing for him to have done, having Emma on the show, is to simply not demean her in a sense where, you're a girl who can't have your own thoughts. You must be hearing from Sam Cedar. Like, it seems like such an obvious thing to not do. Like, it's like unbelievable. He like, not only did he like fall into that, and I'm not even gonna say it's not even a trap because Emma didn't set it for him. He like set up his own trap and fell into it. Not only is it obvious not to do that, but not to do it in such an over the top, tropey way like he did with the high pitched voice and the little like bobbing of the head and eye roll. It was very weird.
This is what you do. I can invite you on for a real conversation, and what do? Your show's for neo-Nazis. This is why you guys don't get invited places, because you're not having real conversations.
I don't really care about getting invited places.
Yeah, right. So go live in your grifter echo chamber where you guys can play songs with bad audio and then say, whoopsie, grifters. Play songs with bad audio and then say, whoopsie.
You know what, the audio thing is
the
funny
audio
too.
thing is amazing.
The audio thing is it's maybe one of my favorite political debates of all time. Yeah.
Because I wasn't there the first time they played it. I thought, because we did listen to another song shortly after, but he apparently saw the one that was when Emma and Matt Leck were just listening to it. And, I had no idea what he was talking about. And then when I checked the clip afterwards and I listened to it, I was like, oh, I see what happened. When you live stream audio, it doesn't sound the same if you're just playing a recording like that. There's a little bit of like, not distortion, but it doesn't sound like you're listening to it crystal clear because it's going through all these like secondhand like audio gates and things like that. But it clearly is not like purposely messed with. It's just like if someone's playing, if you're listening to a Twitch streamer and they're playing a song, it doesn't sound like you're listening to it in HD quality on Apple Music or Spotify.
It sounds slightly music to make fun of it either.
Yeah, and like the idea that the problem with that song is that like the mids are taken out of it, like that's the issue. Like, really?
All right, that's not even what we were talking about. It's not like we were like the production quality on this song is subpar. It needs to be no. We were talking about, or at least when I was there, we were talking about the song. I mean, my biggest issue with it is he thinks he made an emo song when it was just like a radio rock Nickelback number. He clearly doesn't know anything about the actual genres of the music he's claiming to play. In what world is that emo? What he's doing? No one would call it that.
Absolutely not. And the implication, I guess, would be that you're using some kind of compression through your stream so that the stream can run faster, right? And that's going to cut down sound quality. So the implication would be, no, we're gonna like link a FLAC file or something so that you could get like the full audio file experience. Like what? Because what he was implying was like you made my purposefully made my song sound bad when it's just like no, like if you're streaming something.
Exactly. It's one thing for him to say, well, it was being streamed so it didn't sound as good as it could have been. It's another to say you purposely made it sound bad. Like, how conspiratorial and out of your goddamn mind do you have to be?
Well, I guess this is the beauty. This is the beauty of Tim Pool and why I've been watching his videos for so long, is that we are dealing with somebody who's, let's just say, maybe hasn't fully entered adulthood psychologically or something like that. And it is like it does feel like blank check to me. Like his whole thing is just blank check. He has not a lot of maturity, but a lot of money,
And for him to call Emma and Sam grifters, where at the beginning of their discussion, he was talking about how he monetizes his audience better and Sam doesn't know how to make money.
I forgot about that.
Bro, like that, you just blew the whole thing open. You exposed you're doing this for money. You purposely do things for money. Whereas Sam and Emma, hey, they're trying to educate people. Sometimes it's dry. Sometimes they're not going to make a lot of money, but they have a different goal in mind. And then for him to turn that around is just, god damn, he's just so, I just don't understand how anybody can watch him and like seriously in a way where they think they're learning something. Like, isn't it clear to people that he's full of shit?
Tim obviously comes from like this skater punk ethos where it's all about access. You want to hang out with members of Congress. I think it's more punk rock than, I mean, it is incredible. I mean, the idea that like, listen, I find the fact that all of us are like on the outskirts and wouldn't be invited by members of Congress to make to mean that we're legit. We're legit. I mean, it doesn't get more legit.
Well, he also has a political party. Like the Republicans, he has a party that represents his interest, I don't think we do, you know what I mean? Like we have some fringe, we have like Bernard Sanders, and that's pretty much it. Like he has a political party that represents all that stuff. Transphobia, border wall panic, like they represent all that stuff. And so they invite him and that's it. Yeah, he's not on the fringes of anything. I mean, he's not there. He's not speaking truth to any power, I don't think.
And just go back to
But we
the
should use this
groomer thing for a
opportunity to say
second.
next week you could find us all Leftist Mafia live in Washington D.C. hanging out with Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Ilhan Omar live in their office in Congress.
Absolutely.
Those are people we even support for the most part.
Yeah,
and we're not
and they're still afraid of us because they know we're gonna ask them hard questions.
Right,
Absolutely,
we're not
yeah.
like hanging out with them and like going to barbecues and I don't even know.
On the groomer thing again, where he's trying to like call Emma a groomer or whatever. Like Tim Pool had Jim Jordan on his show. Like this is the ultimate pedophile defender. Like so, and what didn't have him on to like grill him? Like he had him on for like a conversation with a Republican. Like it's just so again the whole thing he creates around himself, this whole idea of who he is just so empty.
You know, one thing that I will say in response to that groomer stuff, so he basically tried to get Emma to denounce Genderqueer, the book that Lance said had like the scene of like, what was it, a strap on or something like that, and that's kind of like
I'll just say in like 10 seconds, it's a coming of age story involving a non-binary individual who is also asexual and discovers asexuality throughout the course of the book. And like every right winger has run with this, like it's hardcore pornography. And like as someone who has had penetrative sex at least once in my life, I will tell you that this is not hardcore pornography. This is someone who is using a strap on in a scene and realizes they don't like having sexual encounters, and that's like, you know, the rest of there's very little like discussions around sexuality for the rest of the book as well. It's mostly about identity and just living and growing and loving and all that kind of stuff.
Well, listen, when they bring this up to you, you can, it's bad faith, right? That's obvious, but you can play the same game that they play. Okay, so I have this article, it's from Slate. Ask them if they defend this. This is from a book that is found in a lot of schools across the United States. Okay. This is a quote, a direct quote. If two men, a man and his countryman, are struggling together, and the wife of one comes near to deliver her husband from the hand of one who is striking him, and puts out her hand and seizes his genitals, then you shall cut off her hand. You shall not show pity. I've got another quote from this book. Okay, I'm going to tell you which book in a moment if you haven't already guessed. Okay. You also took the fine jewelry I gave you, the jewelry made of gold and silver, and you made for yourself male idols and engaged in prostitution with them. They're talking about dildos. This book is in schools. Do you want to know which book this is, motherfucker? It's the goddamn Bible, okay? It's the Bible. Yeah.
That's that one about incest, right? Lots of incest and genocide.
Bestiality.
I thought it was the Fountainhead.
Onanism. Yeah. So play that same game with them, because they don't want to say that the Bible should be removed from schools, because their evangelical audience isn't going to like that. So do what they do to you back to them. Like throw it in their faces. Like use the Bible, use anti-theism as a cudgel, because it works. It shows their hypocrisy like that.
Yeah, one of the stories that Tim Pool brought up to try to dunk on Emma was the story. I don't know if you guys read this or did a thing about it. It was a while back, but it was a lady in Illinois who they were doing like basically like a mini book fair thing in like middle school, I think. And they put a bunch of books out. It was like you could pick a book if you want to. And one of the books was, I think it's called How to Be Gay or something like that. And it was like one of the books that you could pick. And somebody called the cops on her. the cops, they called the police on her. And here's the funny thing about her is she was a teacher for 20. Yeah, she was a middle school teacher for 20 years. I mean, this is somebody who's like a real asset as a teacher. They called the cops on her, and I think she quit. I think she like quit being a teacher because these parents were driving her nuts with this stuff. Yeah, so it's like, and that was one of the things that Tim Pool brought up to dunk on her. He didn't tell that version of the story. He told the version, his version was there was a lady trying to indoctrinate the students with sexual books. And it's like, hey, maybe look like exactly. You look into the details.
they've been doing this for a long time though when it comes to sex ed. It's only becoming more of I guess a cultural issue among the right-wing influencers. But like conservative parents have been waging a war against sex education for I mean, I'm 36 years old. So I remember when I was a kid and hearing about it. You know, I went to Catholic school and we learned about sex ed in 5th grade. I mean,
Same
it's
here.
not even
I learned in
even
5th grade
Catholic
too.
school,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
in
that's
Catholic
when
school,
like
yeah.
and not just like
Reverse.
the basics. Like we learned about everything that safe sex, the STDs, HIV, and AIDS. Again, Catholic school,
Sin.
mid-90s. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that we are debating this in 2023, even in in any sort of school, private or public, is insane.
Yeah, and didn't Emma bring up the point that if kids know about sex, then they're less likely to get preyed on by adults because
Yes.
they know what is and is like they need to learn about consent. They need to learn about these things. So if you actually care about kids, then you need to enable sex education in school. One, because abstinence only education doesn't work, and two, because they're going to learn anyway. Should they learn from the internet or their friends or learn from an actual instructor? You know, it just and look like Matt said, I learned in 5th grade. It's not a bad thing, right? It's not grooming. They didn't groom me to be straight, even though that's all I was taught, in school. It's ridiculous. Like, again, it feels like they keep dragging us backwards more and more each year with these weird debates that were fine, and then all of a sudden it's an issue again. Like drag queens, right? 0 pieces of legislation for years, and then all of a sudden, in 2019, we start seeing drag bans or fear mongering about drag shows in 2020, not 2019. So like all the previous years, it's not a problem, but all of a sudden it's an issue. Like I'm tired of having these fucking conversations. It's unserious.
Absolutely.
Oh, deeply serious.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the hypocrisy, right? I mean, this is not a whataboutism, but I mean, Steven Crowder has a bit that's not been taken down where he has an employee who dresses in drag. He makes out with that employee while they're both dressed in drag 3 separate times. Then that employee strokes his penis from the outside, and it can be seen on video from the outside of his pants on camera. And you can see children in the background of every shot, just kids and kids and kids and kids.
Oh my
And these are the
God.
same people who are like, you're all groomers and pedophiles, all of you. Yeah.
The projection is fucking incredible. It really is amazing.
Yeah. We do not claim Steven Crowder as the LGBTQ community, even though he is gay. We do not claim him. Just to be clear,
He has a lot of repenting to do.
Yes,
Well,
a lot of
there was-
repenting.
A lot of
There was
damage
that-
to him.
Yeah.
There was that video of what's it called? The day before the New York City Pride Parade, there's like a dyke march or something like that they call it.
Oh, was it the NYC Drag March?
No. It's a thing specifically that like focuses on lesbians.
Oh, okay.
And they go to Washington Square Park every year, and they go in the big fountain there, and some people take off their shirts. And there were topless women there, or topless non-binary people. It was the day before the actual main Pride Parade in New York City, and conservatives were sharing that video and saying, "Oh my God, there's kids there! Disgusting! Look at them being sexual deviants!" And it literally was just women and LGBTQ folks shirtless. Maybe some people were kissing. There was not even like movement of hips in any of the videos or anything that could even be hinted at derogatory to them. The visual of breasts. of non-male breasts is, oh my God, sexual. Fucking kids friggin' who nurse on their mothers, who view boobs as nothing more than, I get fed from there, are not looking at breasts sexually. I'm sorry, they're just not.
Matt, your mic's doing that thing. That
oh my God! They
clicking
don't want me to tell. They don't want me to tell the truth about.
Trying to silence.
This is the CIA.
Yeah.
David Dole shared a post from I don't know if that was from Portland, but the naked bike ride.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, somebody
I think
claimed.
It's Seattle, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we have that in Portland too. I stayed
It's in
fuck away
Toronto
from
as
those
well,
people.
and the UK. It's also big in London, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're trying to blame queers for that.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Well,
we didn't do that.
I should have sent you guys this clip too, but there's a Tim Pool clip where he puts on like he has a blur plugin where it'll blur all the images on a web page, and he's like, I can't show you this picture. It's a guy reposting it on Twitter, and he's like, guys, I can't show you this picture, so disturbing. I can't show you this. And I went and I looked up what the picture was, and it was literally just naked people on bikes shot from the back, so you couldn't even see anything. was like, that's some showmanship. That's some P.T. Barnum showmanship right there. What's behind this? Oh, it'll blow your shut. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. They're really going hard on all this stuff. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's why they have to make shit up. Like the naked bike ride has been going on for years and years. It has nothing to do with pride at all. It's mostly like straight white dudes. Like it's not
right.
And women, to be fair. But like it's nothing to do with pride. It's just like naked bike ride. That's
I mean, you know, like honestly, I could go downtown Austin on a weekend and see more nudity than that. You know what I mean? Just like out in the street or whatever. I mean, yeah. At the beach, exactly, the beach. Like you know what? Yeah, I think we should ban the beach too. Too much. It's grooming. The beaches are grooming.
They're gonna get there. They're gonna get there.
Yeah, totally. I can't wait. That's gonna be hilarious. Yeah.
I saw a woman in a two-piece swimsuit.
Saw her belly button. Oh my god. That's where she used to be fed through by her mother. I don't know. They figured something out.
Sand groomers, we call them.
Sand groomers. Before we get off the Tim Pool stuff, this video that Lance did, it's just fantastic. I got to share this. This is it's Mortal Kombat, but it's got a little special treat. If you're familiar with, if you're old like us, you may remember something like this.
Oh! Whoopsie! Whoopsie!
That's amazing.
Whoopsie!
So good.
Finish him.
Whoopsie!
Very well done.
Say it exactly like that.
Lance, you didn't have to like auto tune or anything, right? It was the exact pitch.
There was no manipulation. No audio manipulation took place.
So that's
like on my honor.
So funny.
That's incredible, actually, because it sounded so much like how it's said in Mortal Kombat that I actually had to go look up for a second and be like, it is toasty, right? Because whoopsie just sounds too perfect.
I had the same thought. I was like, I went through and replayed in my head that it's.
When I first saw that Tim Pool clip, I thought immediately of Mortal Kombat. I'm not gonna let that.
Me too. Me too. Same.
I'm like, this is the exact. This sounds very familiar. Like Mortal Kombat.
I wonder if he has like the arcade. Like I can imagine him having the big arcade box of Mortal Kombat in his house.
The arcade one.
I'm not gonna hate that sound. That sounds pretty awesome. I hope he does. I mean, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, you know,
he doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't deserve
that. Exactly. Emma wouldn't stay and watch me win at Mortal Kombat.
Emma, you want to play one round? Emma.
He's the kind of guy who wouldn't let you play. You would have to watch him play.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, the fatality.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen? This is a little off topic, but have you seen? There's on YouTube. There's a behind the scenes like making of Mortal Kombat, like the early Mortal Kombats. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. It's really.
I haven't seen that, but I did watch a documentary on it.
Oh, I would watch a whole documentary on that. I love. It was like. I don't know. It was like it was really interesting because Mortal Kombat was such a big part of my like childhood. Like seeing it made is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and the actors in it had no idea like that they were like they're real people, right? Like they're taken and put into the game. Yeah, so they had no idea how big the game would be. Like,
oh my god.
Also, you want to talk about the political culture wars, man. Mortal Kombat really everyone was
violence in video games.
It's such a big thing.
Yeah.
It led to
your kids are playing this game, and oh my god, it's
Night Trap, Mortal Kombat. They ripped the spine out of the body.
If you've seen the newer Mortal Kombats, and the new one coming out, oh my god, the gore is like making me go back. Maybe I'm Joe Lieberman now because this shit's really fucking crazy.
The artists PTSD. The artists were having like PTSD from doing too many like viscera and organ design and stuff, and they were seeing that stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
My parents didn't advocate to ban Mortal Kombat. They just didn't let me play it. See how that works? Conservative, try to do that yourselves, right?
That's the same with my kid. There's certain games he could play, and the ones that he can't play yet, we just don't let him play them. We don't advocate for them to be removed from
society.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a
Along with
parent.
Udemy.
You decide to be a parent. Amazing.
Right.
I mean, even like with my nephew, when he was like 11, he really wanted to play Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, no, you cannot play Grand Theft Auto. So we got a little bit older. I'm like, okay, you can drive around, but that's it. I come back and he's like in a shootout with the cops. I'm like, okay, this was a bad idea. You can't play this game. You can't do this. Okay, I didn't know you go full fucking yeah. So like, you know, it's the responsibility of the parents to monitor what their kids are indulging in. I feel like this has always been the standard, parental rights. So it's so frustrating that we're in this I don't like it, ban it mentality, right? It's so stupid. I don't know if you all heard on that note. I did a video about this, but so there's this Utah Republican lawmaker, Ken Ivory, and he introduced a book ban bill that became a law. And immediately a parent, it basically gives parents the ability to challenge a book and get it banned potentially. So want to know what the first book was, or one of the first books that was challenged? The Holy fucking Bible. And
Really?
It got banned. It got banned. The committee had to take it seriously under the law. And then do you want to know what happened? He called for his own law to be revised so that way it could be unbanned. And eventually it did get unbanned. Unfortunately for him, the Book of Mormon is currently being reviewed because that was submitted for sexually explicit content as well. But it's so funny how they have such a different set of standards, right? And his response was, well, you know, with the Bible, maybe most of the themes should be taught at home, but banning it, I mean, that's such a logical leap. That doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like, why can you not apply that same logic to any other book? It's just... It's frustrating.
And it's also like, I mean, if you really think about like the effects of stuff like that, like kids, like how old are kids when they get on the internet? I mean, 9, 10,
right?
You know what I mean? So, and then you think about like, I was a kid at one point. There was a library in my grade school and high school. I never stepped foot in that. I mean, like
right?
it is a purely manufactured controversy that does seem like a distraction to me, you know what I mean? And and you have to address it, you know, like I talk about it, you have to address it, but yeah, I think it's a way to keep certain people afraid and busy and away from more substantial politics, probably.
Yeah, I mean, kids aren't reading books, but this is going to make them want to read books because by banning something, you make it more alluring, right?
Yeah.
It's like putting the explicit content warning on an album back in the day, on a CD.
Right.
Made me want to listen to it so much more.
Exactly. It made it cooler.
Yeah.
I remember being like 16 and having the fucking Walmart version of Kanye West's Late Registration, but being embarrassed to show my friends that I got the Walmart version, right? Like by adding the explicit.
Did you make your own sticker? Cool. Did you cut out your own explicit sticker?
I should have.
No, it's got the swears, I swear.
I just remember one of my friends seeing it and like, what the fuck? Why would you even buy that? What's the point? Like,
it's a collector's item, man. It's the exclusive Walmart version.
But it's worth more money now.
Maybe.
But I just want to say, when RM was talking before about when kids get online, he said like what 10? I could tell you it's not 10 anymore. I remember when I was a kid, maybe it was like I don't know. I got online maybe 5th, 6th grade. I don't remember. Mid 90s at some point. But my kids, they were online very young. Like they were playing with apps, like not like the internet where they could access websites, but they were online. Like probably, I don't know, maybe 1-2 years old playing apps.
Wow.
I mean, obviously we made sure that it was very specific and tailored to them. We'd monitor it and lock the screen so they couldn't even leave an app unless we did it for them. But they were still using an online sort of app. Kids are connected today. And, I don't think it's totally bad. I mean, in fact, it's a good thing if parents are aware of what kids are doing online. Because they could learn a lot. It's there's a lot of cool stuff out there that didn't exist when I was a kid.
Even the most sheltered kids are going to get access to this stuff. Like I was the most sheltered evangelical kid ever, and as soon as we got the internet, like I was looking up all kinds of shit, right? Because that's what kids do. If you don't teach them things, then they seek it out themselves, and that can be more dangerous.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, I brought up the whole Finland education system thing earlier. They like, I just, for fun, I was looking into like, how do they deal with this? Because the sex ed thing is such a thing now. And it's like, yeah, there's no, like, this doesn't really happen there. It's like, they do sex education pretty young and it's part of a health curriculum. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just such a bizarre thing to have to go back and forth about, because of course there should be sex ed, like, and then you work in the internet thing, like you guys are saying. It's just, yeah, this is a lot of this stuff just feels like such a nonsense argument, a debate that we're having. You know what I mean? Like a kind of, I don't know, like it's a shame that we're this far back.
Yeah.
And you know what? The crazy thing is, too, like, aside from the conservative parents, like the local activists who go to the school board meetings, and even some of them fit into what I'm about to say, a lot of these right-wingers, especially the influencers, don't have kids! They're childless!
Yeah.
They're the ones talking, stay away from our kids! You don't got any! Stay away from my kids!
Yeah. Tim Pool's a good example. He's very concerned about the kids. He's got none. And hopefully no prospect of having any anytime soon.
I mean, like, but they're obsessed with kids, and then even when it gets to the abortion debate, just put your baby up for adoption. Then why don't you fucking adopt, motherfucker? You rich and you're childless conservative activist, Charlie Kirk, Tim Pool, all these guys, Michael Knowles.
They should run orphanages.
Right? Yeah. Why don't you? What? At least Matt Walsh puts his money where his mouth is and actually has kids. I mean,
at the same time, I don't want any of them to have kids. So
True. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. We don't want kids at the compound, at the Tim Pool compound.
At the Never Laid Ranch. I saw someone, I can't take credit for that. That's hilarious to me. That's the perfect name for that place.
That's good. It's so funny.
Well, I mean, it's also obvious. Like, if you really cared about kids, you would want like the more egalitarian society things of what, like a better education system for all kids, and
more safety nets, healthcare, dental care, across the board.
Tim Pool does want healthcare. What are you talking about? He's for universal healthcare. That's what he says.
Oh, I forgot about that.
With like a million caveats, you know what I mean? Every time I hear him, it's
when I was I was reminded about this today on the Majority Report. When I was on, he did the same thing with Emma with the I'm more left wing than you are when it comes to war. When I was on, the thing he did was, did you know I was for the Green New Deal? And I'm like, what? You talk shit about it all the time. All you do is talk shit about the Green New Deal. And I was like, you support the Green New Deal? And he's like, yeah, not AOC's version, but I support the Green New Deal. I'm like, what do you? I'm like, why don't you advocate? I was like, what's your problem with AOC's version? Oh, the free college for black people. That's what he said. He literally said, you go back and that was his quote.
That's purely a treat for his audience. That's just like, guys, here's exactly what you want to hear. You know what? And
completely insane.
I feel like that's I feel like that's a funny way to say that you smoke weed. Like, I support the new Green New Deal, and then you do this thing. Yeah, I do that. That's the Green New Deal I support. But yeah, he does that a lot. I feel like I saw some of that when you went on, Matt Bender, is that he'll be like, oh no, I'm actually way left, even more left than you. And then it'll be like some insane thing that is like
I'm pro-choice, except when the baby's head comes out, you have the guillotines. When you kill the baby right afterwards. If it's viable, why not keep the babies? You got to preserve those viable babies. Know what I'm saying?
Well, when I was on, I straight up got him to say, he straight up, I said, we were going back and forth, and he put forth the scenario: if it comes to outright banning abortion versus allowing abortion up to the entire pregnancy, he would outlaw abortion completely, then allow that. And I was like, that's the game right there. You just said the whole thing right there.
Yeah,
that's
at some level you want to do this. You want an in to be able to control someone else's body and their choices.
Well, there's no pro-choice person who would be presented with those two scenarios and be like, all right, I guess we gotta just ban it all together then. It just wouldn't happen.
He's showing you like
1% of the time it happens.
Yeah, he's showing you the exact sleight of hand that he's doing is because if he's just saying, oh no, after whatever insane scenario he gives, somebody just randomly wants to have an abortion at 9 months or something. He pushes the argument into there, and then he just takes the next step of, oh no, I would also ban if you know it. It's just like, yeah, he's giving away the whole trick. That's his whole thing. His whole thing is trying to like keep tell his audience what they want to hear, right-wing audience what they want to hear, but not in a way that he can have some like plausible deniability. Yeah.
Right.
Which seems
ultimately
very stressful.
Though it comes down to like, who does he support politically? Like, you cannot claim, I don't care what positions you claim to have, if the people you're advocating for are on the opposite end, are always on the opposite end of that position, you can't claim to be in support of those positions. It's clearly ridiculous, which is why does his audience, is there a portion of his audience that actually thinks he's in the center? Like,
yes,
are there people?
Yes.
How fucking stupid do you have to be?
Well,
how fucking stupid do you have to be?
I think for those people, it would just be like, I would ask, like, why even watch political content? Like, go watch. I mean, if you don't care that much to look into,
why not look at a menu? You know,
yeah.
Well, also,
yeah.
I mean, Tim's audience is actually, compared to all the other right-wing YouTubers, his audience is actually the most diverse. It goes all the way from literal Nazis to people who are all the way to the right of center. I mean, you have that whole. So what ends up happening is
top right corner taken.
Right. So what you end up happening is because I'm being serious too. Like, it's a joke, but I'm also being serious. Like, people who these people would be considered probably slightly to the center more than like the Daily Wire audience.
Right.
And what ends up happening is the far right people watch Tim Pool and they view him and that section of his audience, and they go, "Oh, this is a centrist show." That's how that gets spread. That's how people think Tim Pool's a right winger, because he's not. His actual content, what he says, I mean, it's far to the right of us, but to the right, like the real right wingers, he's not. He's a step not far enough for them, and that's why he's still on.
The exception to that would probably be trans issues, where he is as far as the far right is. That's
unfortunate.
He's gone very, very extreme in. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's still deemed acceptable to have these feelings on trans people. So I don't think a lot of people are onto that yet. History will deem them to be wrong in a couple of years, in my calculation. Just like it happened with same-sex marriage and a swath of other issues. Yeah. Civil rights, right? But it's the reason why he's still monetized and successful on YouTube. He knows what lines he can't cross to deem himself monetizable.
The Daily Wire, though, that's surprising.
What? Well, yeah, because
stance on the Daily Wire, though. I mean, that was surprising. Good, happy Pride, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, but my whole point is though that like he makes sure never to cross that, or when he does a show that's going to cross that line, he in advance does not stream to YouTube. He moves it to Rumble or Alex Jones's private band, whatever it is, TV or whatever it's called. Like, he's very careful, and that's why he's successful, because he basically, he what's the word I'm looking for? He's
a grifter. He's the definition of a grifter. Like, he knows exactly, and then to try and call other, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows, as you said, he knows where the line is. During all the vaccine conversation, he was very careful to not go enough over the line that would get him the video, taken down or demonetized. He always goes right up to the line. He knows exactly where the line is, and he rides that line as hard as he fucking can, because that's his whole content.
Right.
But before we go too deep into more Tim Pool stuff, could we just talk about the weirdest video in the history of the internet that got released yesterday at some point?
What's her name? Colleen, or what is it?
Ukulele.
Oh God!
Oh yeah. What is
Miranda
this?
I actually haven't watched this. I saw like an image of it.
Yeah.
Is it long? Should we watch it?
Oh, it's 10 minutes. 10 minute long song.
It is. You should watch at least 2 minutes. Well, I can summarize why.
Yeah,
and what
because
I'm not up to speed on the whole drama, but now I want to be since I watched the apology video because I'm like, whatever the fuck she's accused of, she's guilty.
It's bad. It's so bad. Holy fuck. So she is one of the most famous YouTubers in history. I didn't know who she was. 20 million combined subs between all of her channels. She has a Netflix show. That's how famous she is. She has a series on Netflix based off her fucking characters.
She did one of those driving in cars with Jerry Seinfeld, if you could believe it.
No way.
What?
The cringe.
Jesus Christ. I love how me and Olay had the same take. Olay on Twitter, she shared like the 50 Cent meme where it's like, he did that shit. And I think that was her conclusion after watching like just the apology too, because it's such an absurdly unhinged apology that you can't not come away thinking she's so guilty. Like, what the fuck?
Here's 20 seconds of it. Let's see if we can take this.
My team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say. I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say. So
this is so bad.
Today I only want to talk about the facts. So I hope that you'll be willing to listen.
Okay, so spoiler alert, she doesn't talk about any facts, doesn't address anything directly. She's accused by multiple people who were super fans of hers for years of grooming them. One of them was a boy who was 13 years old at the time, and she had this like little club that she called the Weenies, Colleen's Weenies, and the Weenies were like underage boys and girls of like 13 to 16 years old, where she was getting them to like do fucking OPSEC for her, like investigate like drama and find out what her ex-husband's up to and like do shit about that. She was asking them sexual questions like, what's your favorite position? Are you a virgin? She was asking for, like, butt pics for from one of them, the 13-year-old boy. She was asking for pictures and like, doing this all publicly on this forum. So that's why they have so many receipts of it all, and hasn't addressed directly any of that. Like her whole song, she's like, I'm getting canceled. It's a toxic fucking train, blah, 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 all this kind of shit, and doesn't address the actual stuff where people are like, yo, no, there's receipts. You got to go. Oh, wow. Yeah. Now I know why your team advised you not to talk about this, because this is so much worse and weird. And now it's a thing. Now everyone knows about it, right? Like I never would have fucking spent 2 seconds reading up about this whole thing if it wasn't for the toxic gossip train.
That's the thing. It's like, making that video now makes me very curious because I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but now I want to know every single detail. And that's just so creepy. Like, why would you want to hang out with 13-year-olds? How old is, do we know how old she is?
So at the time, she was 30 years old when she was contacting 13-year-olds.
That's too creepy.
And her excuse, he's saying this, by the way, like, David, you should watch the first 5 minutes of the video. Maybe she sings that she's like, okay, look, just think of me as like that creepy aunt. I was like a creepy aunt, and I was like, the creepy aunt is the one you don't invite back to Thanksgiving. Right. You not be around the family anymore. You excise the creepy aunt. Why are you using that as a defense?
That is so
weird. Yes,
I don't like this. I don't like getting into like there's too much on my fucking plate already. Like I covered everything from an election in Toronto this week to a SCOTUS decision. Like I don't have fucking time for this shit.
None of us even talked about, I don't think, how Donald Trump was making really disgusting comments about Ivanka. I mean, aside from the ones he made, his fucking daughter.
Yeah, he said he had sexual fantasies about his daughter.
I saw that headline. I didn't read the article because I'm like, hasn't he done this already? Like, yes, on several occasions. He was on The View like years ago talking about if that wasn't his daughter, he would date her. Like he said creepy ass shit publicly on television about his daughter. Like, come on.
And I haven't even told you the worst part yet. She mailed her underwear and panties to the boy. He mailed them to the boy. He has them still. His parents have them still, by the way. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That is genuinely disturbing.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
What does she like? What's her YouTube content? What does she do?
She was she played a character where she was like this weird crazy girl who thought she could sing but couldn't sing very good, but she would sing nonetheless.
Yeah, she's like the lipstick, the bright red lipstick, and all.
Yeah,
her audience is predominantly young teenagers because like she does tours and it's all a bunch of teenagers and their parents that go to the shows because that's the target demographic. They love her shit. They like this adult pretending to be a bratty teenager character. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. Can we just be fucking normal people? Like, I mean, can we just try? Like, fuck.
Right?
Well, you know what? Maybe this does tie into the point that you guys were making earlier about like sex ed and all that stuff. It's like it's probably good to learn when you're younger what normal sexuality is supposed to be like, so you can avoid weird, especially in a situation like that when it's like a famous, like admired person, like a celebrity interacting with young people. Like you want young people to know, oh, this is not normal, you know, and like a good healthy
let them know that it's family members, the majority of people who actually assault children. People with close proximity to kids, and let people know that so they know to look out for the signs, especially if there's creepy YouTubers who sliding into the DMs of their fans. Like,
like your alarm should be able to go off like this is not normal because I learned this in an academic setting that this is not normal, you know.
Right. So there should be like a new chapter in these books. Like they should include like YouTubers as like a chapter.
Yes.
Watch
the
out
biggest
for YouTubers. Here's some examples.
The biggest perverts of all YouTubers podcasts.
It's a long section. It's a long section.
I want to know from a corporate standpoint, wouldn't there be a screening process for Netflix where they would have found this out? Because there was multiple people. There's not just one victim. There's a whole bunch of kids. Like one of them's like a young girl who said she was pulled on stage at a show, and then like she farted, and then like she like asked her to put her hands down her pants and stuff like that, like all this fucked up stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some really weird videos from her live shows of her bringing clearly underage teens and preteens on stage and putting them in weird positions to like spread their legs and really weird stuff. You do want to talk about grooming and weirdness. Like doing that is certainly inappropriate at the very least.
And I'm assuming that she is heterosexual. Otherwise, the conservatives would have been like, "See, this is proof LGBTQ."
It's just all the way. Oh yeah, no, of course, as always is really statistically.
Another L for the Straggots.
Yeah.
You know, I had a question for the parents in the group here. I meant to ask this. You guys were talking about like when it's okay to start watching like Mortal Kombat type stuff or playing Mortal Kombat type stuff. What would be because like my take on like gory like I like horror movies, like John Carpenter movies and like David Lynch and all that stuff. And I've thought about it. I'm like, I don't like this stuff because like I want to do gory stuff. I think it's like a safe place to explore dark stuff. You know what I mean? But like at what age do you think you guys do you agree with that? And at what age do you think you guys will be okay with like gory content or like content like that?
Oh, I'm pushing for my 7-year-old to watch that stuff now. It's his mom who won't. You know how badly I want to sit him down and watch Night of the Living Dead with him for the first time. I remember when my dad first showed me Night of the Living Dead. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably a little bit older than 7. But my dad was taking me to ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling live shows back when I was like 13 years old, and there were blood and pouring down those guys' faces.
Aluminum chairs, getting hit with chairs. All
people,
that stuff.
Right? People jumping off balconies, women in the crowd flashing the audience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was certainly not. And adult jokes being made that even went over my 13-year-old head. And
that's why you're fucked up today.
Probably true story for a piece I was working on. I interviewed the wrestler. You all froze for me. Are you still there?
You're there. You're good.
Yes,
you're here.
Okay, that was weird. All right, cool. True story. I interviewed the wrestler Taz for a piece I wrote a couple of months last year, actually. He was like ECW world champion. I interviewed him.
I remember
over the phone for a piece. That. And I was telling him about how my dad took me to ECW back when I was 13, and Taz, who's now a father to a kid who's actually a wrestler on TV now, said to me, "Well, I don't know if I would have done that." Even he didn't approve.
Yeah, but I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like even more into that stuff than I am now, though. You know, like you were saying with the like parental advisory, like it made me want that stuff more. You know. So I don't know. Yeah,
Parents are very weird about the things that they allow and don't allow. Like when I worked at Blockbuster, and I might have even told this before, like there was one lady that I remember because she brought this rated R movie up to me, and I can't remember which one. But she was like, do you know if this movie has any like gore or blood and guts and stuff? I'm like, it's not very gory, but there's like a really explicit sex scene. Like there's nudity. She's like, I don't care about that, but is there any blood or guts? And I'm like, fuck, okay.
It's a very progressive parent there, going against the grain a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, the most adult thing that I probably let my kid do or play right now is he's 7. I let him play Fortnite because it's fun. I play with him a lot of the times. He can't do the live chat stuff. Like the headphone chat has to be off. He can't interact with people.
N-words.
But I mean, it's cartoonish violence. There's no blood. There's no gore. Even the death isn't like you die. You like people could pick up your reboot card and bring you back by going to a van and rebooting your character.
Right.
So it's still guns and stuff. But I mean, it is what it is.
Oh wait, I'm realizing I flipped it. It was the lady. I flipped it around. It was she didn't want her kid to see sex, but it was blood and gore.
Oh, the blood was okay.
That I warned them. Yeah, I said it first. Yeah,
no, that
makes more sense.
Usually is.
Yeah. Because I remember like it was a very God. I wish I could remember which movie it was, but I mean Blockbuster, so it was a while ago. But yeah, I remember being shocked that like that was her response. Like she didn't care about the very unnatural head, getting chopped off, but the natural sex. She was like, oh, it's weird.
I feel like for me, I mean, it's going to depend on my child, right? Like he's 2.5, so I'm not even thinking about this right now. But I think I would hope for most parents, it depends on the parent and the kid. Like they should hopefully know like what their kid can handle. I feel like my parents were too strict with me. Like they weren't like Mike Figueredo strict, but they were still pretty. Like I don't think I watched really any horror movies ever, and to this day I still don't like them. Like I don't enjoy the anxiety that it gives me, and I feel like if I was exposed to that shit earlier, I'd be okay. But I can't.
That must be why I'm
watching horror movies now.
That must be why I'm completely desensitized. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, you're.
It means nothing to me.
Just like no, that shit that disturbs me. I cannot enjoy. There are very few horror movies I enjoy. But. Yeah, so I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be as that strict with him. But again, it's going to depend on who he is. Hopefully, he's not a moron and
how old's your kid again?
Expose him to some stuff early. Sorry.
How old's your kid again?
2.5.
He watching YouTube yet?
No, actually, he hasn't even. I don't think he's even used an iPad or iPhone.
Really?
Yeah, like you were talking about that. I'm like, I should probably get my kid on that shit now.
I mean,
be behind. Like,
I mean, at 6 months, my kids were already knowing how to do the
I was
thing.
gonna bring that up. Yeah, I see my friends like toddlers and stuff. You give them a phone, or they just start doing the motions, zooming.
That's weird because they're like
he's
they're still like
by my
spitting
phone.
up at that age. Like they're gonna get snot on your phone and shit.
Yeah.
That's like
no, that's
maybe
that's
like
honestly,
3-4 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly the number one reason why he hasn't really used that stuff yet is because I don't want him to fuck my phone up. So. But if I can get like a used iPad or something and maybe put some kid apps on there, we'll see.
Yeah, you've got to have boundaries. Like I was my niece and her husband. So it's my great nephew. She was holding her husband was holding him, and he just like takes off his glasses and is like fucking with it, getting his fingers all on it, sucking on like the little this part. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? How do you even see? You're just letting him like fuck your shit up. Like how are you not setting that boundary? It was making me cringe because I wanted to clean my glasses.
There are some things you learn to kind of like let go. Like I used to I enjoyed having a clean kitchen and clean floors, and that's just not the case anymore. There's always crumbs on the floor. The kitchen's always fucking dirty. It's just not. It's not possible.
You can get one of those. What is it called? The robot vacuums where it kind of just does it automatically.
I thought about doing that. They're just really expensive, but yeah.
I got one a couple of years ago, and a nightmare scenario almost happened because it was cleaning up the house, and my dog took a shit, and I didn't realize it. And so it went right over the shit. And for some reason, the Lord had intervened and stopped it from going on the carpet. So it did a little pivot right before the carpet. I'm like, this is proof that God exists, right?
It just smeared it everywhere or what?
It smeared it all over the fucking place. It was a nightmare. I haven't used it since because...
But if you have a dog, though, like at least for David's situation where he says the dirtiness is the kitchen with like crumbs and food, You don't need the vacuum. You get a
That's
dog.
true.
The dog will take care of it.
God, a dog is so much work. Screw that.
They are, yeah.
I've had multiple dogs in my life growing up. It's honestly a kid is almost easier in some sense than having a pet. So kids grow up, they learn, they can start doing things for themselves. Dog, it's always a baby. So
I'm glad you're acknowledging, David, that us dog parents have it a lot more.
Way bigger responsibility.
If only you knew what it was like to walk in our shoes, David.
No, but it's actually right now we just got a dog in February. He's like 7 months old, and he's a big old baby. He's a big dog, and he's a big old baby, and he's definitely a lot more work than the kids are right now. That's for sure. But I'm hoping that being that he's only 7 months, he no longer is that. I will say that getting a dog has only made me more of a hardcore cat person, because we also have a cat, and cats show you all the love and affection you need without being any of the work. All you gotta do is clean their litter box and feed them, and you don't gotta take them out for walks. You don't gotta deal with their crap. They're so independent and low maintenance. It's amazing.
Yeah, actually, if we get any pet at all, and I'm sure at some point we will, it's likely going to be a cat for that reason. They just take care of themselves.
Yeah, get a cat.
But I mean, also, not to diss cats, they like to fuck with your things a lot. I had a beautiful Lego bouquet set, and my cat knocked that down twice into a million pieces. My dogs have never done that, though. Also, my cat likes to puke up hairballs sometimes. Always on the carpet, never like where there's not carpet, like just straight up on a rug or something like that. So dogs, dogs are good. Dogs are very good.
Chewing on wires, because I'm most afraid of like a cat fucking up my gaming shit. I don't want that happening.
Well, I've had dogs do that too, to be fair. But my cat will rub her teeth on like the cord to the lamp in my living room. She doesn't chew it; she just rubs her teeth on it. But the dogs stop her because they know that that's not allowed. So it kind of works out itself.
That's hilarious.
Snitching. There's a lot of snitching going on.
Yeah. They kind of police. If you get enough, they police themselves, right? So.
Amazing.
Hey, David, you said you wanted to talk about Dylan Mulvaney and show the video.
Yeah, I saw a couple of. So I haven't actually watched these yet. I've just seen quotes from them. But Dylan Mulvaney.
It's a good topic to open and
broach. Yeah. So this week, Dylan Mulvaney has broken her silence on all the Bud Light made up controversy by the right. Again, this is the trans influencer that did I think a single sponsored Instagram post with Bud Light. And then the right freaked out about how Bud Light is now trans, and Kid Rock shot his Bud Light up with a gun, like just ridiculous fucking morons losing their minds.
Students were willing to get criminal records. They were in supermarkets and like they were throwing Busch Light. It was the wrong beer. Busch Light caught a stray. Fucking catch a criminal record for Busch Light. That sucks. It's so brutal.
So Dylan Mulvaney here breaking her silence, and let's see what she has to say.
Tolerate people saying about me is that I don't like beer because I love beer and I always have. I built a platform on being honest with you, and what I'm about to tell you might sound like old news, but you know that feeling when you have something uncomfy like sitting on your chest? Well, that's how I feel right now. So this feels like the right thing to do. I took a brand deal with a company that I loved, and I posted a sponsored video to my page. And it must have been a slow news week, because the way that this ad got blown up, you would have thought I was like on a billboard or on a TV commercial or something major. But no, it was just an Instagram video. And the wildest part is that they also sent me one can with my face on it. You might have seen it. And funny story, I had the can around my house, but then I realized, wait, I need to protect this can. So I hid it somewhere, and now I can't find it because I hid it so well. But when I do find it, I feel like it needs to go in a museum, preferably behind bulletproof glass. And you might be thinking, Dylan, why bring it up now? I'm bringing it up because what transpired from that video was more bullying and transphobia than I could have ever imagined. And I should have made this video months ago, but I didn't. And I was scared, and I was scared of more backlash, and I felt personally guilty for what transpired. So I patiently waited for things to get better. But surprise, They haven't really. And I was waiting for the brand to reach out to me, but they never did.
Can you pause it there for a
For
second?
months now, I've been scared.
After all the hate that basically was directed toward Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, to hear that at the very end of it, because they were like, they went, whoa, can you believe it? We have to destroy, blah, 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 shoot up the cans, all the fucking, they got death threats, they got bomb threats. People were straight up calling into factories and stuff. The company at the same time was offering no support to the person who was the centerpiece of it all, who was getting all of the hatred and death threats and all that stuff hyper-focused to the point where, like, of course, she, like, you know, stopped wanting to be online or stopped wanting to be, like, who wouldn't, you know? And like, I can't believe that was happening behind the scenes in addition to everything else.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the real story here, is that it's kind of like the Starbucks stuff that's been going on, is a lot of these like nods from these companies towards some kind of social issues is pretty thin a lot of the time. And yeah, I would totally expect them to be like, hey, we got your back. If you need help, if you need security, even we're going to pay for it. That would, you know, that would be good. But yeah, that's it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I have a video about this tomorrow that's coming out at 9. It's not edited yet, but I recorded it. And basically it's about how bad Bud Light's response really was. Like, it's about Dylan's response, but I use that kind of as a launching point to explore just how fucking terrible the response is and how they're basically trying to fence it between trans people and the people who want them to be eradicated. And, you know, there's a broader talk about rainbow capitalism and how, even though, you know, they're frenemies to LGBTQ plus people and none of us really like it, the thing about rainbow capitalism is, in a late stage capitalist society, it is an actual indicator of social progress, because if they don't think that we're profitable to pander to us and to market towards us, that is an interesting temperature check, right? It tells us that, oh, things have kind of regressed for sure. So yeah, this is a sad story, but I'll let you finish it.
And for months now, I've been scared to leave my house. I have been ridiculed in public. I've been followed, and I have felt a loneliness that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I'm not telling you this because I want your pity. I am telling you this because if this is my experience from a very privileged perspective, know that it is much, much worse for other trans people.
It helps to, I mean, if people couldn't already, it helps to humanize this individual who's at the center of this for simply doing a single sponsored post and having her life destroyed over it. And again, going to the point that you all made already about Bud Light not being there in any way, not publicly, not behind the scenes. Like, I knew these companies were all pieces of garbage, but I thought at the very least behind the scenes, you know, doing something to try to support her here. But clearly they didn't, and that's disgusting.
Was there not like a single
how
human?
empty that support is?
Yeah, like, was there not a single human that just called her and was like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" Right? None of us expect, you know, just one person.
Right. I wasn't even thinking like, oh, they reached out to see what they could provide her in terms of like security. I was just thinking like, wow, you mean like no one who helped facilitate this at Bud Light even gave her a ring and said, how are you doing? Like, just checking in to make sure you're not gonna, you know, you're not feeling horrible and depressed and making sure you're okay. That actually shocked me that someone wouldn't even call for that.
Yeah, not even a fired person. I mean, you're fired. It's not gonna. You can call. You know, just you can send her a message on Instagram. Hey, I was fired too. This is bullshit. I'm here for you. I understand. Like, it's just the callousness. It's not surprising, but it's just. It really is grotesque when you see it, you know?
It goes down to what you were talking about, though. Like, when you were talking about rainbow capitalism, this is that. Is it basically going to be a better return on investment in order to actually stand behind, say, things like the commodification of a civil rights movement, in this case, you know, LGBTQ plus people? Or is it one of those situations where at the end of the day, it's not safe? It's not. We have to. Yeah. It's a calculated risk. What's the ROI on this versus is it too dangerous because of the atmosphere right now? And then it's that Toy Story meme. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Right.
And she does go on to say here, for a company to hire a trans person and then not publicly stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all. It has serious and grave consequences for the rest of our community. And yeah,
like they didn't have like they like exactly like they chose to do this. Like they chose to reach out and to do this deal with her. And they wanted all of the positive results that would come from doing a deal with a trans individual. And then when that went negative for them by a certain subsection of their customer base, they wanted to deal with none of it. And so they let her pretty much take all the shit and crap, and not even like, it would have been so easy for them to just stand up for her. Like
even
so easy.
Goddamn email. How are you?
It would have been so easy for them to be like, if you have a problem, direct it towards us, not her. We hired her. But like, they didn't even do that. And this is a big company. They certainly do big events and do interviews on to talk about their quarterly revenues or whatever, I'm sure, with CNBC or some shit. If someone doesn't bring this up and ask them, what's the deal here? Because I want them on record here explaining what they did to this woman. I want this on the record. Yeah, from them, because this is bullshit.
At least with the Target, we got the leaked emails so we can see what was going on behind the scenes. And it was exactly what you expected. There was a personal safety risk to the employees based on the fact that, yes, the culture wars have actually reached the front door. And so it's like, well, you were fine profiting off gay shit as long as it was safe and cozy, right? Then it's all like, oh, happy Pride, everyone. We're gay for 1 month. This is amazing. Buy all the gear, get it all, get your flags. And now it's like, oh, it's in the back of the store because we don't want our employees to get beat the fuck up.
But even with the Target thing, there was not a single individual who became the face of the hate campaign. It was a corporate, a whole corporate. Yes, they were the employees at the stores, but outside of those local friggin' weirdos who would show up and harass them, it's not like those people's faces were plastered all over the place and receiving hate from all over the world. Dylan Mulvaney became the face of hatred for trans people, and they all just directed it towards her. And it was really one of the more disgusting things I've seen. And I didn't even really know Dylan Mulvaney aside from her being a TikTok influencer before all this. So it's not like it's unbelievable what Bud Light put this person into, like what the
and shooting
ridiculous.
effigies for representation is pretty intense. Like shooting, that became a thing. Like when you're just straight up shooting fucking cases and stuff.
Yeah, if you mix, if any one of us, there were videos that like we were the target of some videos, and it was like people shooting guns, people saying that we're like perverts and all this, and then shooting guns at cans, representing us, and then there are videos of people like following her around in like hotel lobbies and stuff. I would be freaked out. I wouldn't be sleeping. I would be real. This would do some serious damage, And
James O'Keefe did that. Project Veritas, right? Master in a hotel.
Yeah. And it just goes back to the whole fact that like literally all of this backlash is specifically because she is trans. She was, she did this little brand deal for an adult product. I mean, kids, as Olay, like she did a great video about or mentioned this, and she made the point like, who's selling kids? Who's marketing beer to kids, right? This is an adult thing. It's not even like she was in some kids product, marketing campaign. And it was like, no, I don't want that around my kids. It was, no, we don't want a trans person there. Like it's bigotry in its most purest, explicit form. And if you substitute, outrage over trans with any other group, a Jewish person or anyone else, then you could see that it's bigoted. But because trans currently is permissible in this country, Bud Light just thought, oh, well, it's fine. We can ride the fence here. But to make matters worse, and I don't want to spoil too much of my video, but watch my shit tomorrow because I talk about this. But anyways, so the Human Rights Campaign reached out to Anheuser-Busch and told them that they were going to lose their perfect equality score when they were considering firing executives as a result of this in response to right-wing backlash. And do you want to know what they did to make it up to the Human Rights Campaign? They donated $200,000 to an LGBTQ charity. That's what they did. That's how they made it up to them. So, I mean, that's how little they fucking care. And they were probably going to do that anyway, to be clear, because it's Pride. And it just, it's The fact that they even had a perfect score shows you how low the standards are, because they donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to Republicans who want to eradicate trans people from existence, right? So it's just, the whole situation is infuriating. And the one silver lining that I will say, because as all of you mentioned as well, like I had no idea who Dylan Mulvaney was until this controversy. They made her more popular, and now she's going to be a role model to a ton of little trans girls who are going to see somebody who saw all of this bullying and backlash, and rather than like retreating and hiding forever, she's still here, right? She's still visible. That really does matter. That's representation that does matter. And that is the silver lining out of all of this. It's sad that she had to be a sort of martyr or be put through all of this, but little trans girls are now going to see somebody that they can look up to. And that does really matter.
Absolutely.
True.
That story says more about the Human Rights Campaign, if that's all they need to do to sway their friggin' score. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it did sway their score, to be fair. I just know that was their response. But it's just like my response in the video is, why did you give them a perfect score exactly if they're contributing to fascists? That make it make sense. You know what I mean? Which is why a lot of queer people don't like the Human Rights Campaign.
Yeah, a lot of these these social responsibility scores, like that could be. I don't know if any of you guys would do that, but like I would love to watch a video about that, because it's like all these right-wing influencers are like obsessed with these scores, and you know they have a long what is it, like cultural Marxism explanation for it, you know. But yeah, it's what you're describing. You know, it's a totally rigged thing.
It's twisted, because like they should almost be praising Bud Light, conservatives, because of how fucking terrible this company is and how they did absolutely nothing here to defend Dylan Mulvaney in this entire process. Like it's true, but they're like somehow the company's the bad guy. Like they're actually on your fucking side.
A lot of these like Daily Wire guys have been even admitting. I mean, they've been getting massive clicks out of this thing. All these Bud Light videos do way better than a lot of their average videos, you know, but like they kind of have been admitting. I saw the guy, the CEO of the Daily Wire, and then Michael Knowles or somebody was saying like, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, InBev and owns all beer companies. They own a bunch of beer companies. This is not going to like ruin their company. So this is largely symbolic. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird that I don't know if they just don't think their audience cares, or what the deal is with that, or it's just they know it's symbolic. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Oh right, they were cheering on the fact that Bud Light was no longer like the #1 beer in America, and the beer that took its place was just another beer owned by Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch.
Wasn't it Modelo or something?
Yeah, it's Modelo. Yeah. But I love Matt Brunig made this point, I think, like on his podcast or something. But he was like, even with that, we know they're all owned by the same companies. Even if they weren't, the money would still be going to the same people. It would still be going to the people who own all the stock. So what are you doing? Like, you're wasting your time. You know what I mean? But I think that's the point.
Oh yeah. The distraction is the point, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Should we wind it down to super chats, or you guys got something else?
I have one more. I have one question. Okay, go ahead.
I'll do it after you. Doesn't matter.
I have a really stupid, unrelated question. Has anybody seen? I've been hearing this movie is terrible. Have any of you guys seen the Flash movie, the new Flash movie?
Oh no! I've heard very little about it since it came out.
I saw a clip on Twitter that was fucking hilarious, where he's like going super fast, but it's in slow motion. He's like eating a fucking burrito, and he puts a baby in a microwave or something. I don't know what was going on, but I'm officially interested, despite the controversy.
I want to go see it because, like, I've been reading headlines like, they're gonna stop making movies like this. They're gonna stop making superhero. This thing bombed so bad.
Same. Yeah, humanity will never be the same.
Yeah, but you can't afford to keep fucking up like this. If you looked at the numbers for how many bombs they've had between like this, that Rock one really fucking failed. They're rebooting the whole universe. I don't know why they did this. They finished the whole movie. They made Batgirl the movie.
Right.
Michael Keaton's in it as Batman. Apparently, it's amazing. Everyone who worked on it was like, it's incredible. And then they filmed it, and then they were about to finish post production. They're like, nah. We're not doing that. No,
Oh,
no.
right. Yeah, they just shelved the thing. Yeah.
So stupid.
It does feel like to me that they brought in Michael Keaton to try and maybe save some of these movies, because he was the only reason I was even maybe interested in seeing The Flash.
Exactly.
I want to see him as Batman again.
Me too,
How does that go?
Oh, I didn't know that he was Batman in that again.
Yeah, they're bringing it back in some like timeline, weird timeline shit.
Okay.
That's men. Yeah.
And there's some reference. There's supposedly some reference to the Adam West thing, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I read that they tried to get Christian Bale in it as this like, them going back in time, referencing all the other Batmans, and he wouldn't do it.
Oh, I bet he's like, fuck off.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's interesting. It's an interesting like pop culture story that like this thing did so bad that they're gonna try that they're rethinking how to make money from these giant movies.
I don't know how they didn't think that on some level Ezra Miller and everything they do and their entire like criminal record and abducting like a young indigenous girl and potentially grooming her and potentially plying a bunch of children with drugs and all that. Like they were doing horrifyingly bad shit. I was shocked that they were like, let's go ahead with this. It's just
yeah. That they released that movie and didn't release Batgirl is kind of amazing. Like, if you're gonna cancel one, you probably cancel the one with Ezra Miller in it. Like, come on.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, sorry, I derailed there.
No, that was good.
No. I just wanted to say to everyone who was asking in the chat earlier, and I'll put it in the group chat, David, for you to play. Olayemi is going to be taking just a couple weeks off on a vacation, and then she's going to be celebrating her incredible, amazing birthday. So please send Olayemi some love in all the chats. And she wanted us to show you a preview of her incredible new interview with the one, the only Laverne Cox, coming out on her channel.
Very cool. Let's check this out.
Against my community right now. I have not said this person's name publicly, and I'm gonna do it right now. Dave Chappelle. I was thinking about that whole Dylan Mulvaney thing and Bud Light, right? No, the government should not be involved, period, in what's going on between me and my doctor in terms of reproductive rights, in terms of what happens to my body, period, point blank. I've been saying this is about the kids for years. Girl, it's never been about the children. I can't believe I'm getting into this mess. But the Anna Kasparian moment that happened.
Whoa.
Can I just tell you how brilliant you are and what a light you are. And there's something so incredible about you that is just, I live, and that's why I'm here.
That's amazing.
Damn. She seems really cool.
Yeah, I was shocked. I did a video about an interview that Laverne Cox had on MSNBC, and she retweeted it. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah, that's
very nice.
That's going to be a good interview. Olay has some fire interviews lately, folks. Subscribe to Olurinati. She's not here to plug it, but we're going to plug it. Go subscribe to Olurinati. She's very close to 23,000.
Yeah, it'll premiere tomorrow.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah, yes. Olurinati.
Get him.
There we go.
We got to get Laverne on this show.
Yes, it will happen.
I heard that may happen. I heard that may happen. So we're gonna see about that.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got some pretty big guests coming up, folks. So,
oh my God.
We also got to get Emma on. I feel bad. We talked about her debate, but didn't have her.
I know. Yes.
Last week I was gonna invite her on this week, but we had a guest already. Yeah. We should.
We had like a late minute. Yeah.
I've been trying really hard to get her on my show, but
who?
Emma. I've been reaching out. I'm in contact. I'm in contact.
Well, true story. Actually, the only time she's been on my show, she didn't go on camera because she forgot her makeup at the Majority Report studio and didn't want to go on camera. So she said she owes me an on camera, at least one on camera appearance. But
that's very old fashioned in a way.
Right,
like, I can't go on without my face on,
Right.
All right. Well, RM, thank you for. I mean, you can stay for super chats if you want, but sometimes this goes long. It's up to you.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not kicking him out yet, but yeah. RM, plug your stuff.
I can tell when I'm not wanted. I get it. Yeah. If you guys can check out my channel, it's RM Brown on YouTube. That's pretty much it.
Go subscribe. His shit is funny. You need RM Brown videos in your life.
Every video. It's great.
I'm purely standing on your guys' shoulders, and I think that's fairly obvious. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
Not at all. I think you're growing your own little audience there. It's growing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the only, I guess, non-brain rotting way that you can consume like Tim Pool or Jordan Peterson, right? Where this motherfucker will watch a whole ass podcast of Joe Rogan and dissect it for us, so we don't have to. That is even
and even right-wing produced movies. Like you watch movies these freaks make.
I will say
the horrible editing and the horrible like. You even get into like the filmography of it and how it's just fucking terrible. It's
man,
great. It's great
yeah,
stuff.
my brain's leaking out of my ears watching this stuff, but I appreciate it. Well, yeah, have me back on soon, guys. I love you guys, and yeah, have a good rest of the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Thank you.
Bye,
y'all. Good night.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye. And I guess I'll say bye too to the super chatters.
Oh, you're
not going to stay?
You're going to?
Well, I don't super chat. I'm just bits and.
Shit! Everyone, Lance is only here if he could make money off of it.
Lance, you gotta stream it.
The Tim Pool, the leftist mafia.
I can tell you, if I was in Lance's position, I also would get the fuck out of here. But
oh wait, I gotta show. I don't know if you guys saw it. I gotta show you guys something. Someone made fan art for us and sent it. Tweeted it to us. Well, it's both the coolest thing and the weirdest fan art I've ever received in my life. Don't look at it till you bring this up on the if you can. I want to see all of your reaction.
I have not seen this, so I'm excited.
Well,
I'm sending it. Oh, you have to. Okay, so go ahead.
I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just the way things operate here. I'll try not to look. Here, I'm gonna block my face. Here we go. Share this tab instead. Bring it up. Oh my god. This is amazing.
I love this.
Oh my holy shit! I may make this my header on Twitter. This is
who made this. I love this. Holy fuck! Has Olay seen this?
No, it was just sent to me during the show on Twitter by someone who on Twitter who just has 3 followers and just started their account. Oh no, they didn't just start their account, but they don't tweet very much.
Oh my god!
Here is some fan art I drew for y'all. Can't watch it live today, but I'll check the recaps. Thank you, Howdy.
This is amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want to print this. I want to put it on the wall. This is dope.
Same.
I think I look really good here. My legs look fantastic. This is great.
What I love is that I'm taller than everyone when that's not reality.
I'll be honest. I almost had a bigger problem with me being drawn as the same height as you all than I was wearing that clothing.
Braided beard. I just noticed that. You have bows in your beard.
They even got the tattoo of me.
Yeah,
they
got
my
your tattoo.
Wow. I was shocked.
Oh wow, they got my tattoos as well. I'm just realizing that. That's so cool. Wow, you all are so talented. We've seen some really cool art. Like this is amazing.
I also appreciate that I'm the only one with my leg up in the
Oh, I just noticed like your beard is kind of like what is that called with the little
oh my god, I didn't notice that either myself. Yeah. My beard is in bows.
Yeah, bows.
Yeah, I noticed that right away. Yeah.
That's so
my beard
cool.
is fantastic. This is great.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
This is so well done.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm also like super into like JRPGs right now, so this is right on my alley.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
I'm also a little bit disappointed that my clothes aren't all black, being that I wear all black all the time. I should be wearing what Mike's wearing. Give me Mike's schoolgirl outfit.
I have this jean jacket. This is an accurate representation of at least one piece of my clothing.
You do look like a
and
guy.
Of course, I always wear a
jean.
shirt underneath. You never see, but very cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Very
It is
cool.
glorious.
Wow, I'm blown away. You all are talented. We've seen some cool ass art.
Made it.
Let me bring it up again on here.
Go retweet it.
Howdy.
Olayemi
Scott.
I'm gonna follow right now.
Yeah, I'm giving a follow. This is
yeah.
Wow, you're gonna be the 3rd and 4th followers. I'll be the 5th.
Damn.
There, I'll retweet it.
Amazing.
We'll viral it.
Olay's gonna love this.
Oh, she's gonna freak out. See, if you all want us to follow you, this is how you do it. You just make art of us and butter us up that way.
It's really cute. That's really cute.
Wait, what is it again? I'm Scott?
I think
I just checked
HOLA.
Here, I'll drop. It's in the chat. You can just go in the chat.
In the private
The
chat.
private chat. Mike.
Oh,
I know. I
okay.
have that. It's right up.
It's right.
Cool.
The link's right there for you.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Okay. Wow. Retweeting, following.
To be fair though, because Lance doesn't have a beard, he could just be, Lance could just look like someone with a pixie cut. Honestly.
Yeah.
They got the headphones, so there's that. You know.
I just can't get over how good my hair looks. Like this is.
I think honestly, everyone looks really good. It's a very flattering.
Yeah, everyone looks great.
Respect. Yeah, everyone looks very adorable.
I like how I'm bothering David, a la how I really do on the show.
And I'm sitting there unimpressed.
Yeah, I know.
I may turn this into the thumbnail next week. We got to see.
Why not?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Olay's outfit is
I
really
like it.
cute too. I love the green.
Absolutely.
God, this is so neat.
Anyways, we don't want to bore people too much. That's just like oogling at ourselves. Just like, wow, we look so good.
I don't know. People were really having fun watching that video. I mean, that picture of us. Really, it was.
We're our own
very
biggest
cool.
fans. Where each episode we spend like 10 to 15 minutes sucking ourselves off and promoting our own shit.
The art of self-fellatio.
Is that in genderqueer as well?
It is not. It is not.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
People are treating. Oh, they're talking about themselves again. Let me go get some coffee.
That's got to be one of those bingo.
Right.
Things for sure.
Right. Absolutely. That's funny. At least we're self-aware, right?
Yes. Let's get to it. So Lance, if you're going, feel free to go.
I am. Yes. Bye, everyone. I love you. You're incredible. Bye, everybody. I'll
Take
see you
care.
all soon for
We'll miss
more
you.
Amazing stuff. Yeah.
Well, we all talk behind the scenes. Sorry.
Wait, is next week happening? Isn't it like July 4th or something?
The week after next, right?
July 15th. No. July 15th is the big charity event. Everybody come watch it. It's going to be here. It's going to be all over.
Yes.
We're raising money for Rainbow Railroad. July 15th. Come join. We're going to reenact The Matrix. It'll be fucking fun. There's a lot of money for a really good cause to help out queer folk globally try to escape persecution from oppressive governments like the United States, that the red states. Yeah. So, anyways.
Do you know what time it is, Lance?
We haven't set a time. When do you think? What works?
Oh,
best for
okay.
you?
Just afternoon sometime.
Okay. Yeah.
Works for me.
We'll start in the afternoon and then go till the evening, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
All right.
All right. I think this. Why don't I just read? No, maybe we take turns. Is that a better way of doing this? Because otherwise, I'm just like guessing.
Why don't we just read our the ones that for us? No, like we've been doing.
Yeah. Okay, it's fine. It's just because like I'm not sure who's. It's okay. Alice is a new member for somebody. I'm not sure. I have no. I think
you don't have to read the membership ones. Just let's go through the comments ones because we can't. Otherwise, it's yeah. If they leave a comment, then yeah. This one's for me. Yep. This is Tokyo Hans with a super chat. What? No Olay? I'm out of here. A winky face. I know Tokyo stayed on because I saw him in the comments. He's clearly joking.
Liar.
Mike?
Oh, okay. Hideous Lemon. Not sure if I'll make the next Zoom meeting because my cousin's getting married, so I'll either miss it or join fucking Hammer. Well, whatever the case is, have fun, and we'll see you at the next one. And Hideous Lemon, for those of you who don't know, is a regular in my monthly Zoom meetings. I do them every first Friday of the month. And for $5 plus members and patrons, we all just kind of get together and we talk shit for like 5 hours sometimes. Sometimes longer.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all really fun. Sometimes they go on like all night. So Hideous Lemon stayed until, and he's in the UK, so he stayed till like fucking, I don't know. It was long. It was crazy. So yeah, there are lots of fun, folks.
So folks, if you want to go all night long with Mike.
Oh, I know as soon as I said it, I'm like, God damn it.
It's not a bad deal. $5 to go all night long with Mike. Shit.
To be fair, I check out at around like 8 usually, 7:30, and then the chat just keeps going. Like the party keeps going without me. Just
That's
sharing
sweet.
memes, watching videos. It's fun.
Infinite content with the $5. Thank you. Infinite says the crazy thing is that a lot of white women are gonna get clipped by this. They benefited the most from it than any other group. Well, it doesn't actually, as far as I understand, is not going to impact them. This is specifically about race-based admissions. So they're probably not going to be impacted.
Mm-hmm.
This is
God Cat. That's me. Super sticker. It was a picture of a black cat, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Unfortunately,
I wish it would display
StreamYard
them.
doesn't show it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that must be
I
a
wish we could see
limitation
them.
on YouTube's end. They probably
Yeah.
don't give them that in the API.
Emo Dragon, new member. Thank you.
Nice,
I
thank
recognize
you,
you
Emo Dragon.
from Twitter. Thank you.
Yeah, Emo Dragon is amazing.
This is for Bender.
Michael Cuomo with a super chat. There should be an all-black pro wrestling stable called Affirmative Action in response to this. There should. I would be
That's
for it. I mean,
interesting.
the
That's
WWE
interesting.
had Nation of Domination back in the
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
90s, which was like a black power group. The Rock started in that one. Well, he didn't start there,
Right.
but his
Like a
career
second
flourished in
thing.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was also an all-black wrestling stable a couple of years ago called I think like Hurt Business or something like that with Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and a few other guys. That was interesting. But yeah, WWE probably won't do that. But maybe AEW would. I could see AEW going there.
Cassandra Robinson, thank you so much for the super chat. This is Mike.
Oh, Narrative Dude, thank you for becoming a member.
This is Bender.
Radio Friendly Box, racist Scooby snacks. What did I miss? What is that?
That was in
reference to?
response to, I believe, the affirmative action portion. One of us, or R.M. Brown, made a joke about they just want their snacks or their racist Scooby snacks or something, or their
right,
Scooby
okay.
snacks, and then this person chimed in with the racist Scooby snacks. So they were kind of like one-upping.
Free Man, thank you for the $9.99. Says my dumbass would never be able to reap the benefits of affirmative action, but I worry even more for my daughter. It feels like she'll now have to do triple the work for 1/3 the reward.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Foresto Montero with a super chat. My favorite part of the Emma Tim debate was him whining about Majority Report mocking his music video.
It's
beta. Beta. I don't know why I said beta. I've been doing too much tech writing today. Beta.
Is that guy still around? The guy that yells beta? What happened to him?
I believe he's still kicking somewhere, even though he's been outed as like
That's-
a
yeah,
gay.
that's what I thought. That's right. You did a whole video on that, didn't you?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I did.
This is Mike.
Oh, Sutton Larry, new member. Thank you so much, Sutton. Welcome to the fam.
This is Bender.
Mary Jo with a $20 super chat. Tim Pool is such a joke. In my opinion, scared of Sam and crushing on Emma. I don't know about that. I mean, he's definitely scared of Sam. I don't know if he's crushing on Emma. I think he probably thought it would be a good way to get someone on from Majority Report without having Sam on. And I think he probably, I don't know if you would call your crush a pedophile, but
Well, after she rejects you, maybe.
That's true. That's true. Right. That is true.
I don't think it's really that though. I think he's just he's trying to impress people. That's probably part of it. Is just he wanted to impress his guest with sushi and whatever. But
I mean, I haven't followed the whole manosphere dating advice, so maybe like calling the girl you're interested in a pedophile is part of negging. Now you know how you're supposed to like insult them to make it seem like you don't care, but you do.
it's like it's like what kids did back in grade 4, grade 5. It's like
right.
I didn't do this because I wasn't a fucking idiot, but like there are boys who were like made fun of the girl they liked. I'm like, well, is that gonna work? Like,
yeah.
This is Bender.
Foresto Montero with another super chat. Tim Pool is purely in it for money and clout, so he doesn't understand that people have real principles and doesn't get why they don't like him.
This is Mike, also a new member of you.
Emo Dragon, thank you so much, Emo. Really appreciate you.
Bender.
Wanda with a super chat. Heart you guys, but if Olay is out next week, you need to invite a female guest. Winky
yes.
face. Yeah.
Yes.
Should I
See you on
officially...
next week?
I didn't even know she wasn't going to be on today. It was
Yeah,
so
I think she's
last
going to take a
minute,
couple of weeks off. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Where did
I
this
think
come
Lance
from?
said, I think Lance said 2 weeks.
Should I invite Emma?
I didn't hear about
or
it
should
till she said it either, so I don't know.
Yeah, invite Emma for sure. Yeah, because we have to have a female perspective. I think we have to have like a black perspective. So we'll try to plan.
And Emma
get guests
checks
for sure.
checks
Yeah,
both
Emma checks
those
both
boxes.
boxes. Perfect.
Thankfully, Emma's perfect. Emma's perfect for that.
We have. I mean, we invited Emma like a couple months ago now. We should have her on.
We talk like we name drop people like
Spots
they'd be great, but we don't actually like formally send out the invite.
Weird. Yeah. You know
We're
what we're
very
missing
bad.
is a triangle face to do all that work, but we don't have that person.
Yes.
I think this is Mike.
Okay, Matt Claremont, $5. Can't wait till Whoopsie makes it into a Humanist Report outro. You read my mind. I'm already thinking of ways to incorporate that on the beat. So absolutely.
Brilliant. Mike.
Spock, can you save me with $10? Thank you. Yo, Dole, do you remember when you called into TMR trying to get Sam to bridge the gap between Door and Cedar?
Oh my
I remember.
God. Don't fucking
Door's a
remind-
clown. That's
So
mean.
This is. Do I have to explain myself again? This is 2017. This is so. My whole point with that was like, don't you guys know each other? Can you guys just like talk about this? And then of course I went on to realize when I went on to meet Jimmy Dore myself that there's no talking to Jimmy Dore. there is no trying to like educate him on anything. He'll take his position, but at the time I didn't know that. It was more about like, I saw Jimmy's influence and I thought it's better to not push this guy away and try to like, convince him to be on your side. I didn't realize Jimmy was so fucking close-minded. So that was never going to happen.
I didn't even know this was a thing. Please, someone send me the
no,
link to that call.
No, we're not.
I need even more fodder to needle David with.
Okay, I'm gonna defend David here.
It's hilarious because Sam fucking yells at me, like he freaks the fuck out. But then the next day, to his credit, the next day he apologized. Like the first thing he did on the show was like, we had a call yesterday from Canada. He's like a nice guy. He apologized for losing.
Oh,
his
that's
shit.
sweet. Sam is such a good guy.
What was Sam's apology? I'm sorry, I didn't know you were a fucking idiot.
No, it was actually it was actually very gracious. I didn't expect it. But the funny thing is, like I'm on the phone, right? I had no idea he was losing his shit. I didn't know he was yelling. Like I didn't know. So like I wasn't yelling, but I wasn't, I was just whatever arguing my side. So I had no idea. But it was funny to watch it back and be like, oh, he was like freaking the fuck out of me. I had
so
no
funny.
idea.
I remember
it's hilarious though.
In that whole era. In your defense, David, so I was on Progressive Voice's show. I was one of his first interviews when he first started out, and he asked about the whole Sam Cedar, Jimmy Dore thing, and I didn't really have the context. Like at the time, I only watched Majority Report like once in a while, right? And I didn't even see the Jimmy Dore like Sam Cedar 2016 debate. So I if I'm remembering correctly, when he asked me about that, I'm like, well, yeah, I don't really know, but look, I'm on Team Jimmy. I'm a fan of Jimmy Dore. I love his stuff, but I like Matt Binder from the Majority Report. I think he's hilarious. Like I actually like shouted out Matt Binder, but then after that, it prompted me to like, okay, I should watch this debate, and I watched him like, bro, Jimmy got his cheeks clapped.
Everything that Sam talked about came true. Like the three Supreme Court picks, like all this shit. Like it just, it was.
Jimmy
Jimmy
actually said that there's a higher chance of the moon falling into Lake Michigan
so bad
than Trump getting 3 Supreme Court picks.
Yes.
It's
amazing.
Christ.
And
almighty.
now he's dabbling in climate denial. Lance did a great video about that. Everyone, go check it out.
He's anti-trans. He's disgusting.
He's gone over the edge. Like he used the 2016, I think, NASA study about the greening of the Earth because of climate change. But like that's like a small, teeny tiny snapshot. They're not saying, oh, climate change is good because green. Like they're saying this is one unintended consequence. But the broader picture is that we're all gonna fucking die. Just to paraphrase. Watch Lance's video because you can't just watch the video without the context and the comedy without your brain melting. So just watch Lance's. I'll plug that.
And this all happened to Jimmy Dore because Sam Cedar would not bridge the gap with Jimmy back in 2017, like I tried to convince him to do.
See, David had the foresight, and he was trying to.
I knew it was coming. I tried to warn Sam, but it happened. Oh.
Yeah. David was all about that red-brown alliance before it became a thing on the right.
I was on that train way early. Oh yeah. Here is Vinci. Vinci B says, I'm going to push for you guys to have Cult of Dusty on your show. I've heard this a number of times. I still don't know who this is. I don't care to look it up. He's a one-man show 3 times a week, and I've watched him for over a decade. Maybe they're good. I don't know who this
I watch like Cult of Dusty. I like him.
Okay, I feel like from the name, though I shouldn't be one to talk, but from the name Cult of Dusty, it just sounds like, for me, it comes off as someone who was like really, a conservative that is masquerading as a liberal, but that's how it comes off to me.
So he kind of arose in the atheism area on YouTube. So he used to do a lot of like anti-religious content and would, criticize religions and whatnot. And then he went through a very bad reactionary phase. I kind of tapped out. I unsubscribed. And then...
So I'm not too far off then. There you go.
Years later, though... he completely flipped it and realized everything that I said was horrible. This is why it was bad. Like he debunks his own content from that phase. And now his show is very good, very pro-trans. Yeah, I would love to talk to Cult of Dusty for sure.
Interesting. Miguel, this is for me. Thank you. I bet you have one too, but I think this one's for me. Says, because of Aaron Brown, I now speak almost entirely in sound bites. Thank y'all for having him on the show.
Nice.
I was trying to rush to put some sound bites on my soundboard before he came on as a joke, and I didn't have time to do it. But yeah, Aaron Brown is the master of the sound bite.
Yeah.
Every time I hear someone say, generally speaking, in my mind, I finish that sentence by saying, Chinese people look Chinese, because that is a sound drop from Joe Rogan's show that he uses. I think he uses it less now, but he used it incessantly for a while. And that is like drilled in my brain forever.
Same.
This is for me as well. JS Fan says, it would be cool to have Jason from the YouTube channel, not just bikes, as a guest on this podcast. In my opinion, David Dolan and Jason Slaughter share a lot in common. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
I'll just look it up as I bring up the next question. This is for Binder.
John Deere with a super chat. Whoa, Leftist Sausage Fest. Yum yum.
I know.
Well, it was last minute. I didn't even know. I even promoted on a Majority Report earlier today that FD Signifier was going to be on. So I had no.
Yeah,
clue.
I think it was after you said that she said that she wasn't going to be on, and that they're going to move FD to another week. Yeah, it was super last minute. I am here. Binder.
Smackha with a super chat. Donating to Mike through Matt. Andrea Ravensky got blacklisted. Sad face. The Black Queen isn't here.
Andrea got her monetization back, by the way.
Oh, she got it back?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't know this happened again. She was demonetized again?
Her entire channel was demonetized because YouTube said that like one, 30-second portion violated their terms of service. Yeah, it was completely bullshit. Probably like a mass flagging by right-wingers. It was obviously arbitrary, but yeah, she got it back today, thankfully.
Good. It's ridiculous. I feel like her channel goes through so much bullshit. Like the shit she gets dinged for is like, here's me debunking anti-vax bullshit, and then she gets dinged for being anti-vax. Like it's so blatant.
Yeah. And what made it worse is they confirmed, like she reached out to Team YouTube about this, and we confirmed carefully reviewing your account that it's not subject to our terms of use or whatever. And then they're like, oh no, never mind.
This is Mike.
Oh, Psycho Farm with $5. I've already seen conservatives on TikTok freaking out about the Pride event where a couple people were saying they were coming for your children. Shakes my head. Yeah, I did a whole long-ass video about this today. Go and check that out, because I originally saw that video and I thought that they were saying that too. But it's not the whole crowd chanting that. It's like 3 people, and one of them was almost certainly a right-wing provocateur who was trying to bait the crowd into like joking about gay people coming for your children. So watch the video.
Yeah, that's right. I think I retweeted something about that. Where it was not what it seemed it appeared to be at the time.
It even fooled me.
I mean, also though, like, who cares?
Exactly. That's also my position. Who gives a fuck?
No. Someone who's actually committing sex crimes against kids are not roaming down public streets chanting their crimes for all to see. I mean, clearly, if it was being said, it was obviously as a joke or to be sarcastic or to make a reference to the right wing, framing of them. I mean, but. I didn't even want to get involved with that conversation because, yeah, it did seem very much like one person was doing it and it was the person behind the camera. But also, who fucking cares?
Yeah. R.M. Brown actually covered that clip, and the PBD podcast, the show that Sam Cedar was on, like I think a month ago or so. They had like a whole fucking obsession with. I think Alex Jones was on this episode too, and they're like, "See, they're admitting it." Like, why? They're serious. Why would they be chanting this up? Like, it's so stupid. It's so.
Elon Musk retweeted that too. Like, it got huge. This is why I did a video about it, because it's like it's so big now that
so dumb.
Even though it's causing it's obviously stupid, right? But like they're taking it seriously, so I have to take it seriously. I've got to try to like respond. It's just ridiculous. NBC News, by the way, made it worse by saying, "Oh no, this is a chant that happens all the time at Pride, apparently." And people were like, "Where's your sources? Like, what do you mean? Where'd you get this information?" And he privated his entire fucking Twitter account when people started to apply a minimal amount of scrutiny. It's all in the video. It's wild. So yeah,
God. Tim Mazel says $10 from a member of the muscular class, which is the R.M. Brown audience. I watch on David's Rational National stream, so it goes to him, which is okay, I guess. But I wish it could be sent to the leftist mafia in general. Well, Jesus Christ! At least give me a winky face at the end of that. Thank you, Tim, for your very generous donation.
Eventually, we'll have like a general leftist mafia, but we, as you could tell, aren't very organized. So
no, we're not very organized. Bay Photo says Tim's dad might be a better representation of the centrist Tim claims to be. That's a great point. Also, he's replied to my comments before on TYT videos before. Weird.
No kidding.
Yeah, Tim. I didn't watch the video, but I saw a commentary about it. Tim's dad came out, I guess, defending Emma is what I heard.
He just seems like a regular ass dude.
Both of them, both Tim Pool's dad and Tim Pool's sister thought Emma did great.
Oh, sister too.
Right. Well, she went over the family. I mean, if that's not winning a debate, then what is? Getting the family to be like, yeah, you fucking smoked up.
Yeah. This is for Binder.
The Emo Dragon with a super chat. Can you recommend 2 of your favorite punk albums? Oh my god, that's hard. Jeez, because
Panic at the Disco.
No.
Simple Plan.
Because I tend to not look at it by album. I tend to just pick from a whole discography of songs. But jeez, depends what exactly you want to listen to.
What's a good song for like someone to be like, hey, you want to get into punk? Check out this song.
Oh, I'll tell you what it was for me then. It was an intro would probably be the album Hello Rockview by Less Than Jake is a good intro to
what's it called? Hello
Rockview by Less Than Jake. If you're looking for an actual album.
All right, you know what? Maybe I'll
a lot of people like their first punk band is like Green Day or Blink-182 or some pop.
Green Day, I
band.
like. If that counts.
I heard Less Than Jake on a PlayStation video game in like 1996 or 7, I want to say. From there I was hooked.
What game was it?
It was It was Skater with an 8 for Skater.
Close.
It was just called Skater.
I think I remember that game.
Those skateboarding video games had the best music, and also the Matt Hoffman BMX game that had some good fucking punk songs on it. It was.
I remember the Tony Hawk games definitely got me exposed to a lot of music I had not heard before.
Yeah.
This is Bender.
Types with a super chat. She encouraged a young boy to grab a cheese ball out of her pants during a date sketch at a live show. There's a video of the sketch. This is talking about Miranda Sings, that YouTuber.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's not normal behavior.
What did the parents think about that? That's wild.
Yeah.
Bender.
Nicholas Bridges with a super chat. I watched my first horror movie with my dad, Alien. It sounds like your dad's name was Alien the way you put that comma there. But ditched the dad but kept the love of sci-fi/horror.
Maybe the dad ditched you and back to his planet. There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Bender has a bunch in a row.
I know,
here.
what the fuck?
Spread the love here. jackasses.
There's three of us.
Radio friendly box. My parents let me see The Exorcist at 5 years old. Okay, that's definitely inappropriate.
I'm not sure I could take that movie now. I've seen enough. I saw the walking up the stairs backwards with the head and shit. No, that's enough for me.
See, Night of the Living Dead has, you could at least say that it's in black and white. So a lot of the color with the gore and the blood doesn't come through. It's a black and white movie. The Exorcist, that's a rough one at 5 years old.
No,
Ugh.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Bender.
For Resto Montero, the super chat, I'd like to advocate for the laissez-faire approach. My mom paid no attention, and I'm on my third political YouTube super chat, so clearly I turned out fine. More people should raise their kids with the laissez-faire approach if it means that your kids will grow up to give me super chats.
This is Mike.
Oh, Cycle Farm with another $5. Thank you. I know Mike knows the Tabernacle. I think he'd be an amazing guest on the show. Yes, I'd love to have him
definitely.
on. The problem is that
the UK perspective.
Yeah, the problem with him and the UK people is that they have to basically stay up all night to come on our show,
That's
but
right.
we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, it's like the middle of the night for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I get UK callers all the time on my show. My
yeah?
audience, audience is hardcore and dedicated. They stay up till 3, 4 in the morning. I get Australians calling in while they're having lunch. I mean, my audience is the best.
Wow, international. Look at that.
Well, maybe Tabernacle would be down to come on in the middle of the night. I would feel bad though.
We should definitely invite him and see.
Absolutely, yeah.
Congressional Baseball Fan says, similarly, Target did the same thing to their LGBTQ creators when all of their products were pulled from stores. They got zero support.
Right.
I think did we mention that? We mentioned Target. I know that.
Yeah, we didn't mention that specific element, but yeah, I do know that some of the creators of the products, they were kind of just left hanging. It's not as bad as Dylan Mulvaney because she's like very visible, but it's still really fucked up. You know, these corporations don't give a fuck about.
I didn't even know Target did a thing with creators. I thought they just had the merchandise.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Well, it's not more specifically designers of the products,
of the
right?
products.
Oh, right.
Because they'll have like queer owned businesses, contribute to their pride displays and stuff like that. And so like there are a couple of artists who they work with, not necessarily influencers like Dylan Mulvaney, but still, artists nonetheless.
Right. I know who you're talking about now. There was that clothing designer who has, and they got a lot of shit. Right.
This is Mike.
Oh, Keith with a $20. I don't see a message.
No, there's no message.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Keith. Wow, very kind.
That's it. Dude gives you $20, and I would have been like, "Holy shit, $20! Oh my god, thank you." You were just like, "Let's see here, just $20."
He wants all his donors to feel equally the same.
No message. Oh, okay, well, wow. All right. $20. All right.
Oh, Bender. Motherfucker.
This for me?
Yeah, this is Mike. Mike.
Go ahead.
Oh, Celeste, $1.99. About to get McDonald's per Olay's impact. Yes, her presence is felt even if she's not here.
Man, I would love late night McDonald's now, but as I've discussed 3 times in a row now, I'm on intermittent fasting. So I'm on pure water from like 6 p.m. to like 10 a.m. It's very different from what I'm used to. Because I normally get high at night and then eat, and that doesn't happen anymore.
That's difficult.
Yes. Bender.
Radio friendly box, another super chat. Human rights scores equal blue checks. Right, yeah. In a way, yeah, sure. You pay for it, right? Yep.
Mike.
Oh, Barb with $10. Thank you. It's weird hearing RM without his Yoko soundbite backing him up.
That's the one I should have grabbed. But, that Yoko soundbite is,
Is that the one?
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
Okay. That one lives in my head rent free. Although, I listen to his videos so much that you can kind of like, as he makes a point, your brain kind of fills it in with the soundbite, right?
Yeah,
like
it starts dropping, the sound drops itself. Yeah.
Yeah. You just know where he's gonna put it.
Yeah. Bender.
Kowalski, what did they do to us? I have no idea what Kowalski's talking about. Guys, you gotta give us a little bit of context.
What did they do to us? That was at 10:16. What were we talking about at 10:16? I don't know.
I have no idea.
No idea.
I don't remember.
What did they do to us, though? What did they do to us? Who knows?
What didn't they do to us is what we should be asking.
Also,
Tokyo
Vintage.
Hans with a super chat. 1,000 yen. Oh, I wonder how much that is. It sounds like a lot more than it actually is. It's probably like $1.50. Matt, where is the YouTube join button? How am I supposed to give you even more money? Right. Okay. I did not do it yet because I wanted to make a thing out of it. So what I'm going to do is I will have... Because, all right, so basically, because I did not actually start the membership, I don't even know if I mentioned it to you guys yet, the audience. Because I did not start the YouTube memberships yet, YouTube actually sent me a message, like an offer, as part of this new incentive program they're doing, where they're going to pay me for, joining the program. They're going to pay me it's a certain amount of money. I don't know if the reason I'm not saying it is because I'm not sure if YouTube I have to check the policy and whether I can mention how much I'm making. Because you're actually not supposed to show your monetization stats via YouTube policy.
I learned the hard way. I got a strike during a stream.
Yeah.
During a stream, you got one? Holy shit.
Yeah.
So the incentive is they're going to give me money for signing up for the program, and they're going to give me additional money for getting 30 subscribers within by the end of July or something like that. So it seems like a doable thing, but I want to make sure it's doable because I would like the money. So next Thursday, I will turn it on and we will I'll do a little YouTube subscriber thing during this broadcast next Thursday.
Yeah, do a video that way we can like blast it and stuff like that. I feel like you'll reach it at the end of the episode.
Oh, you'll get it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't count my chickens where they hatch though, because before you know it, it'll be like July 30th, and I'll be like, guys, please sign up.
You know what our audience will do is they'll extra sign up to like David and myself on that day, supporting David through my.
That's a good idea, you guys. You should do that.
Do that in August after I get the July incentive, and then you can go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, no, you'll get it though for sure.
Goblin T Nuts, fantastic weekly super chat supporter, says Uncle RM, who's not here, so I can answer for him. F, Mary Kill, a crystal flute, my unstable girlies, an adult baby. So crystal
That's
flute
hard.
The crystal flute is a Tim Pool drop. It's a pretty funny one. That you know what? That's I would I forget which one Unstable Girlies is.
It's the Candace Owens saying, "Where my unstable girlies at?"
Oh yeah, and then Adult Baby is Joe Rogan saying, "Adult Baby."
Adult baby. Adult baby. He always does like twice.
I'm proud. God damn, he has such good sound drafts.
I know.
I'm probably going to say marry Adult Baby because it always brings laughter to me. I'm going to kill Unstable Girlies. I like it, but I'm gonna get rid of that one. And I'm going to F Crystal Flute because it's like it's an enjoyable one, but I wouldn't marry it. So there you go.
And it's also a phallic shaped object, crystal flute, so it's easier to fuck.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Exactly.
Unnecessary. I'm sorry.
Daniel R here says sushi with Leftist Mafia when Emma is on.
But if she turns us down, then we're gonna get really mad.
Tim Pool jealous is we have the sushi with Emma. And
we should actually, when she comes on, we should all have sushi. I'm being serious.
Just like bring it up. Like,
yeah, we should do it. We should do it. She's having sushi with the boys.
Yeah, that's right.
I would be. Let me know. I'll get some fucking sushi. That would be funny as fuck.
Yeah. Infinite Content. Thank you. Says DC live action movies are so bad they had to run over the Marvel Cinematic Universe to get the Infinity Gauntlet to snap their own universe out. LOL. I think the last DC live action movie I watched was probably was it Batman and Superman? That was terrible.
You didn't see the Batman with what's his face from Twilight?
That was good. Yeah,
I wouldn't include that. No,
because that's not part of the DC universe, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's different to me. But that was a good movie.
What the fuck? The Justice League Snyder cut. It was like 18 hours long, and they had bars on the side. I'm like, what the? Why?
What?
Like, Yeah, it was like a old TV ratio, not widescreen.
I didn't
and
watch
it's like
that at
it's
all.
the longest shit. Like I watched like 2 hours, fell asleep, woke up, and I'm like, this shit is still on. What the fuck? It's
what blows my mind is they had a second Suicide Squad movie, didn't they? So I heard the second one's actually good.
It is, yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. Look, I'm not super into comics and shit, but did people even know what the fuck that Suicide Squad was? And they did 2 movies in like the span of 3 years. Like
it was a reboot. It was a reboot, right? But they still got what's her face to play Harley Quinn in both.
She's
how do you reboot like a 4-year-old movie? Like that's so weird to me. That's so bizarre.
One thing that I will say about that is I would recommend watching the movie because the show on HBO based on John Cena's character is excellent. It's a very, very good show. I don't remember the name of the character though.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. No, I've seen shots of it. He's dressed all weird in some weird like
yeah. Like it's the show is better than the movie. I think it's great. Highly recommend. You probably don't have to see the movie, although no, they reference it. I would recommend it, but it's great show.
I feel like I'm so overdosed on superhero shit now. I can't.
I feel that.
Even the Spider-Man game, which I love Insomniac games. Like I'm gonna play the game, but I'm not really that excited about it. Like,
see,
I'm only gonna play it because I like Insomniac games, not because I care for Spider-Man.
I honestly am feeling superhero fatigue, but with the Spider-Man game, I am really excited just because I like the last game a lot.
Those games are they're awesome. They're great games.
Yeah,
but it could have been like an original IP, and I would have played it. Like it doesn't need to be Spider-Man to me.
Right.
Bender.
Dynamic editor with a super chat. Matt, were you wearing your binder in that art? Was I? What binder are you? I don't know what you're talking. Your binder. Are you
in the art we showed earlier?
A joke about my last name, but I don't get the joke either, though. I don't think so. What?
I'm not sure what a binder is.
It's like a trapper keeper.
I have no idea.
I don't know. No idea.
Like a binder, like to restrict press. Is
right,
that what
but yeah, but that's you're right. But yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I got it now.
I think this is Mike.
Oh, okay. Hannah McGuire with $10. Thank you, Hannah. Parent of teens here. I'm super online and my kids just got online. I feel like I'm in the know enough to be able to protect them from the toxic part before it becomes a problem. Guidance is essential. Absolutely. If you're involved in your kid's life and you know what they're doing and you've educated them, I don't think you're going to have a problem. It's these people like who try to put their kids in a box and try to shield them from the world. That's where you have the problem, right? Because if you don't give them answers or educate them, they're going to seek out things and they could find more harmful things, right? So yeah, that you're doing it the right way, Hannah. So good for you.
Mike, we addressed this already, but here you go.
Okay, Keith with $20. Thank you so much. Whoa! Is that good, Bender?
Oh my God. Do we have an applause?
Okay, there.
$20 is a big one. $20 you got to make a big deal about, I think.
Well, thank you so much, Keith. I don't know if you heard, but Andrea Ravensky just got demonetized for glorifying violence. That's what it was, by covering a mass shooting. Yeah. The video is on her Twitter, and it's not true. Matt, could you put her in contact with the YouTube rep that helped you? I think you mean me. But yeah, she got she got remonetized, and I did reach out. I sent them an email. So yeah, I don't know what helped, but I'm just glad that it's over.
This is for Bender.
For Resto Montero, the super chat, who won this week's suck off? What?
I think they were that super chat about? Came in when we were joking about how every week we suck ourselves off and we just talk about ourselves and promote ourselves for like 10 to 15 minutes. I think that's what they're referring to.
Out of context, that is quite the super chat there.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know, I'm lost. I think this is
I did, by the way. I won. Rachel Atwood with $2.
Wait, no, this is for me, isn't it? Or no?
Matt already did. When will
No, it's not linked to you.
Oh, no, it's okay, fine. Jeez, wow.
Well, fine, if you want to read it, Matt, just read it.
No, go ahead. No, it's not for me.
Matt already did. When will Mike talk to Igor K? I don't know. I'm not familiar with them, but I will look into them.
Yegor
Or I'll check out
Kokin
Matt's interview.
Is he's a writer in Russia. I had him on Monday to discuss what happened over the weekend in Russia. Like he was there in Moscow.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. It was interesting. He
Okay.
shared a lot of stuff that I didn't hear anywhere else, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I don't talk about things that I'm not educated myself in.
I do the same. That's why I have the guest on who's an expert in whatever the topic is. You're a smart guy, Mike. That's how it
Fair
should
point.
be. But a lot of people on Twitter this past weekend, everyone apparently was suddenly an expert in paramilitary groups and Russian relations.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I didn't. I keep my mouth fucking shut. I'm like, I don't even know about this topic. I'm like,
Same. Especially with something like that where you have conflicting sources. I mean, that's so hard to pin down what's happening. You could easily unwittingly spread misinformation. That's why I really hesitate to talk about things like that.
Right. There were like people like journalists and people on the ground in Russia who were trying to get information and share. And you had Elon Musk on Twitter highlighting a guy in Dubai's Twitter space as the best source of that guy Mario. I've been on his Twitter spaces a bunch of times. They could be fun. They're not journalism. They're just people arguing and debating over issues. It's not journalism, but Elon Musk was saying this is the guy to go to for all your information about Russia, while he's just doing Twitter spaces, audio chats from his home in Dubai.
God,
wow.
Twitter is so bad. It's such a fucking cesspool.
This is Mike.
Oh, and other oddities with $4.99. Would y'all discuss the new Florida law, something about pausing any regulation because it might cost you 1 cent by filing a whiny complaint about it? I'm not necessarily sure what you're talking about. Is this the law that basically lets corporations sue if a regulation conflicts with them? I'm not 100% sure. I have heard of something with regard to Florida, but I haven't followed it. So I'll have to look into that because I would be interested in talking about it. But I just got to nail down the details first. I'll look into this.
Laura Estrada says, you are like the 3 dudes I'd befriend in detention and get more in trouble laughing with you. Bender.
Parker with a super chat. Can you give your honest and realistic prediction on when the Supreme Court will reach a 5-4 liberal-leaning majority? Over under 20 years. Oh boy, I mean, how old is we got Alito and Thomas are up there, right? They're pretty old. So that would give let's just say that happened. Let's say with luck, they get replaced under a Democratic president. That gives you what? That would give you 5-4, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously possible. If it wasn't for the two of them, you just have a bunch of fairly young conservatives: Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Barrett, and even Roberts. They ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just down to hoping that I'm not gonna say it. Hoping that some people die.
In natural
that's like a lot of politics.
Natural ways.
Obviously natural. But that's just politics generally.
Yeah.
Werner Rochelle says, watched on the TV tonight without the chat. Shout out to fellow cat-owned humans.
Cat-owned,
I just really quick. I just got raided by $27. Thank you, $27 for the raid on Twitch.
Nice.
Love $27.
This is for Bender.
Let's go to Sean P with a super chat. Binder, did you see Omega versus Osprey from Forbidden Door? Where did you come down on the real life Punk versus Elite heat? I didn't see all of it. I saw clips, and I still don't know how to say what is Osprey's name. I always forget. It was incredible from the clips I saw. I think Omega and Osprey probably are two of the biggest pros in the business right now for doing some of the moves they were doing, but that Tiger Driver 91 was a little bit too dangerous for but they know what they're doing with it, then that's fine. I mean, who am I to say? But it seemed like an incredible match in full. And in real life Punk versus Elite heat, I'm a big CM Punk fan, but I think they should all just let bygones be bygones, put it aside, and do what's best for business, and put their real life feuds aside.
Kowalski, this is for me. Says Jimmy Dore going nuts was a canon event. What does he mean by canon event? Like.
Did you not see the Spider-Man movie? The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so a canon event is a canon event. If in that movie, I'm assuming that's what Kowalski's referring to because that's the recent movie that mentioned it. In the movie, a canon event is an event that happens in every Spider-Man universe that connects all the universes together. And that cannot be changed. Otherwise, it breaks the connection of all the Spider-Verses. For example, Uncle Ben must die, or the equivalent of Uncle Ben must die for every single one of those Spider-Man. Same with Gwen Stacy's police chief dad. Must die in every single Spider-Verse. Otherwise, it breaks the connection between the Spider-Men.
So in every single universe, Jimmy Dore must go nuts.
Yeah, there you go.
There is no scenario where he doesn't. Well, you know what? That makes total sense to me. Mike.
Mengtang with $15. Thank you so much. Next leftist that chats with Pimmy Tool needs to right off the bat say, so anything coming out of my mouth today, Sam Cedar and the Leftist Mafia crew told me to say. Just a quick little disclosure for you, bud. That'd be great. That's a good strategy.
No, this is for me. Bay Photo says, I always get the vibe that Jen kept Jimmy around at TYT to help out a struggling friend. Dude is a horrible comedian. No way he was getting work then. Yeah, who knows?
You know what I'll say?
He was there for a while. It does seem like.
I agree with that statement too. I thought that Jimmy Dore was funny, but then I realized that he was only funny because Ron Placone was writing all of his jokes for him. And then once Ron Placone left, then Jimmy Dore all of a sudden there's nothing, like not even a single laugh. Like he can't write his own jokes. So he's only funny if he has a writer.
Yeah, I never really thought like his jokes were funny. I just thought he was like a character. Like, like he's just like he's a weird guy. He's got a weird personality, and he's more like look at this guy saying weird shit, like just being all wacky. Like it's kind of like what I got out of it.
That's fair. Yeah.
This is for Mike.
Oh, spin me a sailcloth with $5 saying, why do you think it is that the left fails to grasp the necessity of understanding systems theory? What happened to It Takes a Village? I think that a lot of people, they're not necessarily super glued to a particular political ideology. I think that they have like morals and instincts, and that's how they're drawn to leftism. But I think that like a lot of people aren't really like following a cohesive ideology. So maybe that's why, although I'm not sure because everyone is different. The left isn't monolithic. But yeah, I think that understanding systems and the way that things functions would be very helpful. It kind of brings some, at least, understanding to the crazy world that we live in.
This is me, Brian. Ever read any Philip K. Dick books? And what's your favorite, if so? He's I think a science fiction writer, right? I'm not a big fiction reader generally, so I have not. But if I were to read fiction, it would be science fiction. So it's the best I could do for you. Any of you guys read Philip K. Dick?
No,
I have not.
No, I don't read much fiction either.
I only read fiction, but I haven't.
I don't read many books in general, honestly. Like,
to be honest, I start a lot of books and I don't finish a lot of books. That's kind of my problem.
I couldn't do that, so I just don't start them.
No, see, I feel a little bit bad because I read a lot all the time, and I've not read his books. There's a lot of books out there, though. To be fair to me,
there's a lot of books for
a lot of good stuff I want to read. Yeah.
This is for me. Thank you, Tim, for the little tongue face there. Thank you. This is for Mike.
Oh, or an F with 200 yen.
but it's for Mike.
Oh, this is gonna be an ongoing.
Unbelievable.
For Matt, it feels so weird not having Olay here. I know for sure. Whenever there's one of us that's missing, it does feel like the whole balance of the show is thrown off for sure. So I feel you. Subscribe to Olurinati though.
This appears to be your dad, Binder?
This is my dad,
Oh.
yes.
And this is
Alan
for you.
Binder with a super chat to me. Thank you, Dad. So, Matt, when are you going to let Ezra watch the 1953 version of Invaders from Mars with my grandson? So, Ezra's my son. My dad wants to watch Invaders from Mars very badly. I don't know why that particular movie, but he thinks that's the age-appropriate one. I guess soon, maybe in a couple... My son will turn. Oh, geez, it's already the end of June. My son will be 8 in 1 week.
Wow.
A week from Sunday. So yeah, maybe at 8 years old we can do it. There you go.
Happy
Pops.
birthday, Ezra.
Yeah, happy birthday. Also for Binder.
WizPig Tactics with a super chat. Do you know what is going on? Hold on. Do you know what is going with tech inflation? The software services we use at our company have increased their prices from 50 to 100% since last year. Well, they're trying to extract as much money from their users as possible. The tech industry is not doing too hot. They're not doing so good on the stock market. A lot of these companies have been shown to be the paper tigers that they are. And so they're not growing their user base or their customer base, so they need to extract as much money as possible from their current customers. See Reddit and Twitter both charging exorbitant fees now for what used to be free API access, which enabled third-party developers to create really cool things. Pretty much every other tech company that's raising prices and laying off massive amounts of workers while their executives continue to rake in more and more money, and the VCs continue to rake in more and more money.
Angela says, yes, more color and women. Rest in peace, Sue. I think she means Sue Johansson. I'm not sure if you guys know. You probably don't. I think she's a Canadian, just a Canadian thing. Sue Johansson is a sex educator. She's 93. She just died today. She's kind of like a big deal in Canada, but I don't know if any of you know who she is. Get Lily Aon. I looked up Lily A because I saw your question earlier. I get Lily Allen, a singer from the UK. I don't know who Lily A is. Anybody know who Lily A is?
I don't know. I kind of remember Sue Johansson though. She had a show, Sex Talk or something, right?
Yes. Oh, so you were exposed to her.
Yeah, when I was very young, actually.
Yeah,
she groomed me. Dare I say? No.
Yeah, no. I mean, oh my God! Nowadays, holy shit! If her show was, she would be considered a groomer. But it was basically like she was a sex educator, and the show was aimed at mostly like teens, and like that's kind of what the show was for.
Oh, interesting.
To educate kids. And yeah, she definitely had a lot of big impact. A lot of people's. She had like a call-in show. You can call in and ask like any question. People would get asked some really personal questions. And she would have some advice.
Me and my friend watched this one night, and we were like cackling at it just because like, oh, she said vagina. Like we were very, very young. That's how I remember her. Limited exposure, you know.
I think that's a lot
really
of people's
young.
experiences, initial experience with that show.
Yeah, I was like 10 when I saw it.
Who's this for? This is for Mike.
Chris Bankhead, $4.99, donating to Matt for David through Mike. I love these comments so much.
My brain's hurting.
They'll make my week. I'd love to see Rebecca Watson on. She sounds so familiar.
She's a YouTuber.
I'm trying to visualize her face, but I can't. God, it sounds familiar. But yeah, that'd be great. If I'm thinking of the right person, though, but I'm not sure. Happy birthday to
no.
Happy birthday to Olay. Mike, love your show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Olay's birthday is, I think she said end of July, right? So she'll be back by then.
I think it's the next 2 weeks or so.
Oh, okay. Okay, fuck.
That may be why she's taking like this week or next week.
Right. Yeah, okay. God, I'm blanking. I feel like she told me. I feel bad. But yes, happy birthday to Olay if we don't see her then. But we'll talk behind the scenes and stuff. We all, we talk through.
This is Bender.
Aztec Priest with a super chat. I really agree with the guy who suggested the Cavernacle as a guest. I knew about you guys for a long time, but I only just learned about him. R.M. Brown. Had to. I mean, that's how they wrote it. So I'll read it that way.
Accurate, very accurate. Mike.
Brand with $4.99. Thank you so much. Y'all should see if Pearlmania 500 from TikTok will join one of these. Love y'all. Thanks for keeping us informed. Thank you. I have not heard of Pearlmania.
Not to be confused with the Pearly Things lady.
Just Pearly Things. I hate that I now know about that fucking person. Goddamn.
I only know about her through R.M. Brown, and now I'm seeing her shit pop out. Like she had like a debate with H3 and like all other shit. Like,
yep, I learned about her through R.M. Brown as well. Thanks, RM. And then on H3.
That lady.
Pearlmania. Okay, no, it's not Pearly Things because it's a dude. I'm following him though, so.
Good thing.
Oh, this is a massive creator though. 1.8 million followers.
What are they called again?
Pearlmania 500.
Pearlmania 500.
I think I got the right person. You know what? I feel like I've seen their content before, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, we really gotta interact with some of these TikTok influencers because I feel like that's an audience we completely ignore, and that's like. It's. I honestly think TikTok. I'm saying this as someone who's completely ignored TikTok for the most part. I really do think like TikTok is going to be the big. I mean, it already is huge, but I think it's going to move even more towards TikTok and further away from things like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I mean,
we have a massive TikToker on this panel.
I have two videos on TikTok now. You're the massive TikToker. You use a lot, don't you?
I used to, but Lance has been blowing the fuck up. Hundreds of thousands of views on his TikTok. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you go look at his TikTok. I'm not joking. Like he's
we should interview this Lance guy. He sounds pretty cool.
Maybe we'll bring him on.
Damn.
Yeah.
He should post some Leftist Mafia clips on there. See if get some audience here.
Well, he was telling me that when you post just clips of your show, they don't do very well because that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
So he started to do green screen clips, and that's really what like blew it up. Just talking about news, just like with an article behind him. So yeah, it's something to keep in mind.
Oh, Lance doing. For a second, I thought you were gonna say Lance is out there doing those like. Dances that the
Yeah, no, I put 2 videos out on there, like also like YouTube Shorts. But the video's designed specifically for like 1 minute. Like it's usually like a topic where I'm not going to do a video on this, but I want to, I can mention this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I use it for. But it takes almost as much work as like a regular video. So it's just like, is it worth the time?
That's the problem. Yeah.
I do think YouTube Shorts is fine for cutting short stuff of your longer clips
probably.
Because it's right there on YouTube too. Like you can just send people there from that.
Yeah. Although YouTube Shorts annoys me if like an account posts like 20 shorts and then that's all I see in my subscription feed when it's like I want videos, not shorts.
Yeah. When it comes to posting, you have to be like careful with how much you inundate people with that stuff. Because if they're used to like long form videos and now you're just posting shorts, you're going to lose like a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is for Bender.
T Types with a super chat. Sushi and dress up in skater gear with X Games footage in the background. We should do that.
All beanies. Wear all beanies.
I need to buy a beanie.
Oh, we should all have beanies, 100%.
I have a beanie.
That's an easy one to do. We could all pull that off.
That'd be fucking hilarious. He'd be so triggered by that.
He's not gonna watch our fucking show.
You know what? Though?
It's just for us. It's for me to laugh.
You know what though? We shouldn't tell Emma about this, and she should just come on.
Oh no,
of course. We all pop up with the beanies, the sushi. We have the sushi, and we all use a green screen background with the skate park. It would be fucking hilarious for her reaction.
Oh my god,
I think. We should totally.
The only thing
nobody tell her though.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I'm bringing this secret plan up on this show where cumulatively we have over we have 1,500 people watching.
The only problem with StreamYard is once she clicks the link to get in, she sees us immediately, and she's not even in the show yet. Like she'll be at the bottom, and I have to actually click to bring her in.
No, you will. We won't. We have her in as we go live, and while we're doing the intro video, we all put on the beanie and grab the sushi and do the.
Yes.
Smart.
No,
okay.
That's smart. Yes.
None of you spoil this for us.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so funny.
This is Mike, I think.
Oh, Kowalski with $1.99. So cow, knife, blood, high five / prayer hands, lightning, person with carrots, and then sleeping. Sounds like a fun day for Kowalski.
What he did today, amazing.
Pulled some carrots. Okay, farm life, right?
Also, Mike.
Oh, T Calico with $4.99. No message, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Also, Mike.
Wow, S March with $5. I'm a union organizer at U Waterloo, Canada. Did y'all see about the knife attack yesterday in a gender studies class? So scary. Love your show. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I didn't. So there's a video from Left. What is the name of the channel? Left of the Box with Sandy. Check that. I'm gonna excuse me, let me know that they have a video about this. I'm gonna share the fuck out of that as soon as it's available, if it's not already available, because yeah, I want the Canadian perspective from this. And apparently what they told me was that this had something to do with like a gender studies class, or well, you said it, but like well, I'll just get the details from them.
From what I understand, I'm not sure if it ended up being a student or not, but someone like between 20 and 30 walked into a university class, asked, "What class is this?" They're like, "This is gender studies." Like they're like freaking out. What class is this? They gender studies, and then stabbed the professor and 2 other students. And luckily, they didn't die. They went to hospital. I think there's probably serious injuries, but they're okay. But it's, I mean, clearly this person is radicalized through a lot of the bullshit that's going on. Whether it's through conservative media or whether it's through like 4chan or whatever, like it's really disgusting. Just the kind of impact that kind of shit can have on weak minds.
Yeah, it is Left of the Box, by the way. Check out that channel, by the way. Great creator that we're gonna have to bring on at some point as well. They make really, really good content.
Natasha Dyer, this is for me, says, "Wow, I've caught you live. Been so long. Big fan. Carry on." Thank you so much, Natasha. This is for Mike.
Oh, check mark verified account $1.99. RM's vids slap. Absolutely, they do. Love RM.
Aaron Quinn says, "Thank you for the super chat." Says, "Oh my God, what is this new awful?" I always forget how to say this word. Is it epoch? I don't know.
I think it's epoch, right? Although okay, I have no idea.
I don't know why I want to say epoch. Epoch Times anti-trans doc. I just saw a trailer for on here. I can't stand this every day. It's just so much. Oh my goodness. So I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see any of the ads. But I've seen comments of like, I got this ridiculous ad. I got this like, yeah. There's YouTube is full of right-wing terrible ads. So I'm not surprised that you got that.
Honestly, getting YouTube Premium was really good for my mental health because not seeing those ads.
It just saves so much time. Like for me, it's really worth it. Also, because I listen to stuff in the car, so you can close your screen and it's still playing. Yeah,
absolutely.
And by the way, it also benefits creators. Like from what I understand, creators actually get more of a cut than they would through an ad if you're a premium viewer. So it doesn't hurt creators either. Rachel, I think this is for Mike.
Oh, okay, Rachel, I would $2. You plus Igor would focus on LGBT rights in Russia. Oh, that's interesting, actually. I wrote, I don't know if I wrote a paper on LGBTQ rights in Russia or if they were like part of a larger paper about LGBTQ plus rights. But yeah, that would be really interesting because I know it's extremely homophobic in Russia. There used to be like people who would try to go on like gay hookup sites or apps just to beat the fuck out of them. Like infiltrate them and do gay bashing. So the climate is very, very bad. So yeah, that would be interesting, actually.
Mike?
Oh, or an F with 200 yen. Jimmy Dore has the Steven Crowder laugh light. I don't know if I know.
Like the light that goes off and makes you laugh. Now it's time to laugh.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were comparing laughs. Okay.
He definitely would have that if he had like an audience or like...
Absolutely.
Oh my God. What's so I saw Jimmy Dore live once. Do you guys know this? This is 20, I think it's 2017. And it was the first time he had Ro Khanna on. He had Ro Khanna on his show live.
Oh, you were at that one? Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. Again, at the time, Jimmy's not the person he is now, right? Like, so it was a very mild show. But the idea of him having like Ro Khanna on his show now, like after all this shit, all this shit that he has said and is just it shows you just how far that man has fallen. But
sounds like a shit lib to me.
Yeah, exactly. Brian B says, please read Philip K. Dick. LOL. You guys rule. Thanks.
I'll put a little
I will
note
read
on
your
my
super
phone.
chats. I cannot guarantee
Philip K.
I'll
Dick.
read an entire science fiction book.
I'm halfway through my current series, so I'm gonna need something. I'll check it out.
I have a real problem now with just my gaming backlog is so big that if I have free time, I'm playing a fucking game. I'm not like I do enough reading for my job, like researching and shit, that I in my free time I'm not reading a book.
You know what? You gotta do is because I'm the same way. I read before bed, just like a couple of chapters, and it helps me fall asleep. Because if I don't like read, then my mind is going to go to like weird political places and think about problems. So reading kind of like clears the slate, and then I fall asleep. So it's really, really useful for that.
Bender.
Andy Boom with a $20 super chat. Oh, if we're on books, anyone read B. Travin? I don't know who's B. Travin. Is this like a is this an actual person, or is this like a Bart calling Moe's type deal here?
Have you read Seymour Butts? B. Travin.
I don't know.
I never remember like the authors. I just remember like
I'm just bad at names generally.
Yeah, same. Let me see. Okay.
Well, while you research that, I will. Dynamic editor says, "Wow, Matt, that's how you treat $27. You should have went. Holy shit, $27! Thank you."
Wait, who gave me $27?
You got rated by $27.
Oh, wow, that's clever. All right, I get it now.
That is very clever. Yes.
I did not get it whatsoever. Thank you for explaining, Mike. I'm slow. It's almost midnight here.
This is for Bender.
For Resto with super chat, don't forget Twitch's recent massive self-own. All right, Twitch had their issue. I don't remember what they did again. You couldn't. I don't know, what did they do?
They announced bad policies.
Did they cut into ad revenue or something? What did they do?
Yeah, it was a bunch of things.
Yeah, they did a whole bunch of weird things, and then they said, and then they were like, "Oh," they tried to like reframe the discourse by announcing that they were gonna offer like the 70-30 cut that YouTube gives for streamers who hit all these different.
Yeah, it's like a small sliver of like creators.
Yeah, and it was a very small sliver. Yeah. It is bizarre that they claim they can't do 70-30 what YouTube does, and that they have to do 50-50. It makes no sense whatsoever.
No, the idea of doing 50-50 for subscriber, like donate, like that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me.
That's why I tell people that if you're gonna send me, I mean, if you prefer paying me through Twitch, I'm not gonna. That's fine, but Twitch Prime is the best way to do Twitch because you're already paying for Amazon Prime and you get it for free and you're getting me paid.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Tim Mazel, this is for me, says, at least give me a winking emoji. Here's my $10 regarding my $10. At least give me a winking emoji.
Maybe they want you to wink at the camera. Wow, jeez. Someone's going to clip that, GIF it. It's going to be amazing. Wow.
I'm not even sure that's what they meant, but there you go. Richard Marxist says, can any of you spread the story Status Quo just did on the BP cover-up of a fire accident that poisoned us even more? Man, it's never ending with this shit.
I've not seen that. Yeah.
I haven't seen this. I'll look into it. But yeah, these companies are just fucking disgusting. I'm sure there's more bullshit to read about. Bender.
Venetia David with a $10, no, not dollar, that's a pounds, 10 pounds, UK pounds, a super sticker. What super sticker? Let me check. Oh, it's a flying superhero pair. I love it. Thank you so much, Venetia. And thanks for staying up late.
Oh my God. Bender.
What?
Bender. This is for
narrator.
you.
All right, hold on. I've been going crazy for a 10. I feel like we gotta wait for Mike. Let's come back to this one. Let's get Mike. When Mike comes back, we'll come. We gotta make sure we give narrator his money's worth here. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez, and I gotta prepare myself. Oh my God, narrator. Who said that? Mike's here. Mike's here. All right, here we go. Ready?
This is for Bender.
Here we go.
Look at this shit.
Narrator with a $100 super chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's
trying to think
it?
of every crazy thing I could do.
That's the best you can do.
If you want another 100, you got to go harder than that, Matt. Come on.
Oh my god, jeez. Watch, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and the narrator's gonna tell YouTube, oh, I meant to put $10. refund me the 100.
God damn. I'm just saying the rest of us are jealous. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez,
That's very
$100
generous of you.
narrator.
Yeah,
And
jeez.
narrator says, left is best. Absolutely. Thank you so much, narrator. Wow. Okay, I
The
appreciate
funny thing
it.
is, for $100, they could probably write like a whole paragraph because the more you pay, the more you can write. So, but it's a nice simple chat. Look at this, very
nice.
Hold on, let me give narrator one more. Let me give narrator one more. Let me think here. Okay, ready? Auga! There you go.
Incredible.
Gotta say that $100, my kids are eating good at McDonald's tomorrow. Let me tell you. I might go in
from
there.
the adult menu.
Right. I might go in there tomorrow and be like, you know what? Round of Grimace shakes on the house for everybody.
I'll get the large fries today. Thank you very much. This is for Mike.
Ooh. Sorry. Del Ortiz, $2.
How are you tired? You're not allowed to yawn. You West
I'm
Coast
not
man.
sure.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, Rebecca Watson, Leisha Miller, or Amanda Golka. I'm not familiar with any of them, so I'll have to educate myself.
There are so
I
many
always try to
famous
learn.
people now. It's impossible to keep track.
Mike has a strict no women's policy when it comes to his YouTubers.
Oh, that would make sense. This is also Mike.
Oh, save Grayson Katz with $5. You should have off Jawagon here. He is great. Another person I have not heard of, but I'll look into them.
This is for me. Tokyo Han says, "Oh crap! I hope Matt doesn't see this. 200 yen, which is a lot less than 1,000 yen. Is it, I think it goes by like Wait, I think that's $2. I think that's what that means. I think. I could look it up though. But thank you so much, Tokyo Hans, for your generous donation.
No, I don't think it's that simple when it comes to yen. I think it's something really random.
I remember it being simpler than I thought it was.
It's $1.38.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
maybe it's
because someone sent before when I got that 1,000 yen, I thought it was like $2 or something, but it actually was like $6.75 or something.
It's closer to $2 Canadian. I think that's what I was thinking. But still
right, you're Canadian. I forget. Right.
That's right. I'm Canadian.
Oh, by the way, Philip K. Dick wrote "Man in the High Castle." I did not know about that. Okay, interesting.
Aaron, this is for Mike.
Aaron Quinn with $4.99. Did
Oh
any
no,
of you see...
sorry, it's me. Aaron Quinn says, "Did you any of you see Anna and Jane condescending / yelling at trans activists on a recent video because of the sports issues?" Yeah, I don't.
We saw it.
I don't want to get into this.
We're gonna save it for Thursday and dedicate the whole episode to it. Okay.
I think you know our stance.
Yeah, I think it's you know our stance, and there are people that work at TYT who don't share their same stance, and it's I would hope some of those people would try and I don't know, talk some sense.
Yeah, we tried our best, publicly, privately, so they don't agree on this, and it's sad.
This is for Mike.
Joshua Sean with 100 something. I don't know what that is.
We're on the last few here.
Okay.
Is that? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Is that yen?
this comment.
No, that's not yen. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Love today's all-white male panel talking about how without affirmative action, black voices will not be represented. I know the irony is not unseen for sure.
That's because we actually look at these issues objectively and aren't fucking just like, writing some line.
I am trying to figure out what currency that is.
Right. Does anyone know in the chat?
I'm sure someone does, and we're gonna feel really stupid.
I'm sure Joshua Sean knows.
Yeah, well, that's true. Joshua with 100. Joshua with 100 squiggly lines. Let's go there. Oh, is it rupees? Is it rupees? Let me check.
Is that what they're saying?
Someone said it. Yeah, it's rupees. Indian rupee.
Oh, jeez, I do feel stupid now.
Indian rupee. Yep.
Okay.
There you go. This is for Mike.
Chris Bankhead, please cover LGBT rights in Russia. They don't exist. Yeah, I agree. It's really, really troubling.
What is that little logo next to his Chris Bankhead's name there, next to the?
I think that means they're a member.
Yeah, that's a member.
YouTube needs to come up with a new logo for membership. That looks like some sort of white supremacist logo.
It is a weird. Yeah, I don't know why they used. I think that may be more of a StreamYard thing, because I don't think on YouTube it shows that.
Yeah, because if they are a member, it have like whatever badge you have right next to their name.
Yeah.
So it is probably a StreamYard or like an API thing or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't followed LGBT rights in Russia for a really long time. Before I did the Humanist Report, my bread and butter was LGBTQ rights in North Africa and the MENA region more broadly. So I haven't followed international as closely, but I would be happy to look into it more, but I kind of stick to what I know. But yeah, that is important. And LGBT rights in Russia, they really don't exist.
All right, we got 3 more here. These 2 are back to back for Binder.
Kowalski with a super chat. Match with a goth woman on Tinder. Let's go.
And then
nice. Good luck, Kowalski.
Nice.
Never mind, Kowalski. Never mind, scam. Happiness continues to elude me. Oh man, I'm sorry.
I could see Kowalski with a goth woman.
Right, but I would question how many goth women there are in rural Nebraska.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, if anything, maybe there's more there because it's so boring there. Like, what else is there to do but dress?
Yeah. Right.
Draskin should bring Vosh back on a second for not just bikes. On a second. I'm not sure.
I think they mean should bring Vosh back on, and second for like their second.
Okay.
Not just bikes. Yes.
Vosh has a lot of shit going on. I'm not sure we want to wade into those waters. There's just
what's going on with Vosh? I don't know anything.
I don't follow it. I just know there's always drama. He's always trending. I don't even.
Let's have. I watch
occasional videos of his. I don't know what else is going on with him. I have no.
Yeah, I really like Vosh. He's always like trending on Twitter for some reason, but I don't.
There's always some drama. Shit going on.
And I like being ignorant to all
the
shit that goes on. I personally like Vosh.
Just like whatever. That's it. Oh wait, sorry. No, there's one more. This is for Mike.
Oh, okay. Jod Love Sled with $5. Man in High Castle is an amazing PKD book written as if World War II ended completely opposite. Yeah, I'll have to. I know that was. I don't know if it's the same as the television show, but I heard that was really good too. But yeah, I'll check out the book when I'm done with my current series that I'm on for sure.
Now there's one more. Kowalski. We have a lot of. I'm just gonna say DD because I don't want to offend any algorithms here. We have a lot of DD for fun in Nebraska. Obviously joking.
Yes.
I hope.
We do not condone.
Definitely do not do that. But yeah, I mean, I do wonder what you guys do there for fun. I guess you farm. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody.
Ooh, I gotta. That's it. All right, let me rate someone.
You have more?
I have no. I have
There's
a bunch
one
of
more
Twitch.
that came in for Matt.
Another one just came
really?
in. Sorry. Yes.
All
this
right.
just came in for
Super
Bender.
Chat from Tokyo Hans. Kowalski, come to Japan. I got some friends What's your opinion on cat maids? Well, yeah. Who should I raid over on? Who's on Twitch? I got all these Twitch viewers.
Oh, right.
Now.
I've got we did a dual raid last time. We should do
yeah.
that again.
You want to do who's on right now? Who's on over on
Let me
yours?
see.
Anyone interesting?
I'm pulling it up right now. David, are you on Twitch also?
No.
No.
They have a policy against co-streaming, so I don't. I'm too afraid of.
They say they do.
Well, I'm like affiliate, so I get ads on there if I were to stream on there. Are you guys affiliate or not?
Well,
I believe so.
Let's just keep things the way they are.
Oh well, then Jesus, what the fuck am I missing out on here?
Right?
No, I'm just saying. Last time I actually, the funny thing is they banned me for doing that, and I never actually did it.
Oh, weird.
I did. They're not banning me, but they kicked me off as a partner for a year, like almost 2 years, because they claimed I was co-streaming and I was not co-streaming. I don't even know. It may have just been because I posted a video that I had streamed on Twitch to YouTube, but that's supposed to be okay.
Enough.
I don't know.
Let's move on.
Sorry. Anyways, go ahead with your illegal activity and then do what you need to do, and that's fine.
Why don't we raid Moist Critical, a small streamer who's live right now?
Yeah, let's right. How many people are watching them right now? Jesus
only
Christ.
11.8K.
I'll never understand it. I wish. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get how that happens, but okay. Riverboat Jack is on. What about Riverboat Jack?
Is she? I don't see her.
So some people mentioned Riverboat Jack in the stream.
I don't see her on. Is she on? Because I'm following her.
I see Riverboat Jack on. Just search Riverboat Jack.
That's yeah.
While you guys discuss this, I may just drop out since I have nothing else to add to this conversation.
Do you not follow Riverboat Jack, Mike? Because that would be why it doesn't show up on your list.
No, I'm positive I do.
All right,
Good night.
Let's take care, David. See you next week, my friend.
See ya. Goodbye.
All right, let's do Riverboat Jack. Same time. Here we go. You ready?
Okay, hang on. It's still.
Wait,
okay.
did you click raid and you're loading them up?
It's loaded now. I could do it. So
you click start raid. Hold on, you already have them all. Hold on, I'm doing it right now. Hold on. Ready to raid in 9, 8.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm past that point.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh, now Riverboat Jack pops up. It wasn't showing up for me before.
All right, here we go. Ready? Right.
1, 2, 3.
Ho!
All right, we'll see you all next week.
Peace.